We're rolling.
Welcome back, everybody. Episode 79 of the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast. I'm Milton Campus. I'm a brown belt training out of South Florida. Bo behind the camera.
Hello.
Look who decided to show up.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Where's the hat?
Everybody.
What happened to the hat?
Where's the hat,
It's
bro?
too crowded.
It's too,
No,
what?
we need the hat.
It would have been too.
Yeah, it's too big.
Like
Yeah,
this.
I had a sombrero.
All right. Shout out to Britt Tavar, our booking manager and sponsorship coordinator. Thank you for setting up these two knuckleheads, I guess. I don't know. Joining us today are black belts Drew Phoenix and Tony Melo.
Yes.
Welcome, guys. Let me do a couple of shout outs before you guys start going at it. All right. I got to do something like, our sponsor housekeeping. Support for the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast is brought to you by MANSCAPED, who just renewed. Thank you, everyone who purchased MANSCAPED products. The best in men's below-the-waist grooming. MANSCAPED offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. You like that, right? I like that.
Yeah.
Trim your beard.
MANSCAPED recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle. It's the performance package, right? That's what it's called. You join over 4 million men worldwide who trust MANSCAPED with this exclusive offer just for our listeners. It's 20% off and free shipping worldwide with code JJD, again, at manscaped.com. You get the Weed Whacker. You get the Lawnmower 4.0. You get a pair of boxer shorts.
You do.
Right? You get the
bag, the travel bag.
You get the lotion, the ball lotion. Wait, you're going to like this. Look at
Yeah.
the
crop preserver.
The crop preserver.
Yeah.
Check this out. Right? Have you seen this before?
No.
The crop preserver and the crop reviver.
They smell good,
Like the
man.
ball, the ones, which is that
If
the
you
ball?
smell
That's
that,
called the ball
if you
toner.
smell that, that's what my balls smell
That
like.
one's called
right now.
smell that, and you can
Melo's getting
smell
excited.
what
He's
Miguel's
getting
balls smell
excited.
like.
Listen, if you guys
That's what
sponsor
the
me,
nations-
Drew will be smelling this a lot more when we roll.
Hey, it makes north south way better.
For
We're
Drew.
going to talk a little bit more about Manscaped later.
You wish.
But thank you guys for having faith in us, and thank you to our listeners who
go.
all made purchases. Before we go too far, if you purchase any products from any of our sponsors from their online stores, where you're using a coupon code, either JJD or the BJJ box is JJD10. Send us a copy of your receipt. We're going to do like a nice big swag giveaway.
Let's do
It's
it.
going to be like $250 worth of swag. Hopefully we'll do it when we have the Flow and Roll rash guard done. So then they're going to get a rash guard t-shirt,
Gotta stop teasing it,
backpack,
man.
coffee mug. They're going to get a bunch of stuff. So if you've ordered anything from any of our sponsors, the 5 sponsors that we have that have online stores,
Yeah.
send us a copy of the receipt and you enter it automatically.
No minimum purchase,
No minimum purchase.
so they could just buy like what keychain.
Doesn't matter, I don't
and let's
care.
go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, do it.
Thank you for giving everybody that piece of advice, though. We are also sponsored by Black Belt Digital Marketing. Woo-hoo-hoo. Anything you need to build your business, like website design, Google Ads, graphic design, logos, we can help. Check us out at Black Belt Digital Marketing on IG, and check us out at bbdigitalmarketing.com. You can request a free online view right there on the homepage. We'll review your entire online presence, kind of grade you across the board, and then we can talk a little bit more about what we should actually be doing for you. All right. Shout out to Neutral Zone.
Hey.
Neutral Zone, Bo, you got it over there. I know you're not paying attention.
Melo,
Product
listen
shot.
to Neutral Zone, bro.
It's
Neutral Zone is a plant-based wellness brand that was created to help people receive the benefits of plant-based CBD and hemp products. All right. So no matter if your aches and pains are coming from like weightlifting at the gym or rolling on the mat, just the daily grind of life, which is my problem.
Being
Laying on a
old.
computer all day, you know. What's that?
Being old.
Being old, yeah. I hate these. My
Hold
father
on, did
calls it.
you say plant-based CBD?
Plant-based?
Yeah.
Plant-based.
There's animal-based CBD?
Well, I mean, it's like there's
No,
no like additives, right? It's
And no
it's
no
completely
man-made
plant-based.
chemicals. So like some other people might use some sort of homogenized oil to make like an emulsion with the CBD. This is all plant-based. It's not like
How you know all that, nerd?
that's what I bring him in for. So Neutral Zone definitely has a product for you. Like you see it on they've got balms and lotions. And which one's the one that you were using on your?
I was using the
your
roll on
ankle?
them. My ankle's feeling way better.
Okay.
3 days. I just think
They got the patch. They got a patch that I tried the other day.
Look at
I'm
that.
going to use this one tonight. They got a patch.
I'll give this to the wifey.
Yeah, that's why I brought it. The face mask for the ladies. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to do it with my wife.
Do it. It's a gender neutral mask.
Gender neutral. Okay. So find your neutral zone by finding the best products for your pain wellness so you can continue your active lifestyle. Check them out at neutralzonecbd.com and get 25% off. It's higher than their actual coupon code on their homepage. Use code JJD.
That's beating inflation right there.
Yeah. And then their IG is My Neutral Zone. Give them a follow and let them know that the dummy sent you. Shout out to George Hernandez Claims. He's a public adjuster. He can help settle commercial and residential insurance claims on your behalf in the states of Florida, and he's now registered in Texas. Call George today and let the professionals help you get the most compensation possible from your insurance company. So check him out at Hernandez Claims on IG and hernandezclaims.com. You can request a free estimate right there on the homepage. All right. Let's not forget Sean and the crew from Flow and Roll. Hands down, the best custom gi and no-gi gear in the business. Drew is going to be buying all his stuff from him going forward, right? Is that what you said? And Tony, right, too?
That's the Mortality Jiu-Jitsu.
Nice shirt.
Yeah.
I'm going to send it to, I am going to send it to you guys, two gym owners. He sent me a little flyer that explains, like you talked to him, right? You talked to him, but he sent me a little flyer that explains, and it's like $149 to like get it started, right?
I didn't get that far.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the flyer that he sent me that he told me that I could share, but you could check it out. Like you can basically like get your entire gym geared up, gi, no gi, but he puts it on the website for your students to buy.
Oh, okay.
Like you can still buy what you need, but it's like a pre-order system so that you don't have to lay out all the money.
Oh, nice.
And then the student, he charges what you would charge. You get your piece. You get your gear, and then he sends your students their equipment directly.
All right, so set mine up and he's going to pay for it.
What's that?
Set mine up and he's going to pay for it.
He'll actually but doing it that way, it also gets like a Flow and Roll bag that he puts it in. So now they get like a backpack with it. They send our keychains in there. He gives you lots of like little extra goodies. So it's really cool. Check out their Instagram at flow_and_roll. The website's flowandroll.com. If you're ordering just individual products, again, use JJD for 20% off your online order. But definitely check them out for their gear.
Their gear's legit.
Gearing up a gym is really their forte. Last but not least, BJJ Box.
Hey.
All right. Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box is delivered to your door, filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, anything you can think of. They find the best products in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost.
Yeah.
Each box includes between 4 and 7 items. I've never just gotten 4 items. It's always been like 7 or more in some cases. Get $10 off your first order with code JJD10. And we should have another box on the way, so we'll do another unboxing pretty soon.
All right.
But that
defense soap. Dude, you got to bring that game to open mat. I think that'd be something fun at your school. You guys have fun. They sent us a game that's like two dice. So I get a die and you get a die, and then you roll it, and instead of the numbers on the die, it says like the submission you're only allowed to go for. So it's like armbar, rear naked choke, whatever. You guys.
They sold us in sex die too. My wife has those. So there's like sex die, like
babe,
yeah.
We got it.
If you both get lucky, it'll say I'm too full. And then he gets
all right. That's our housekeeping. Welcome, guys. Sorry you had to sit through all that, but got to pay the bills. So how you doing, guys? What's up, man?
What's up?
What happened? You late again?
Whoa!
Late again.
Hey. He's unprofessional.
I kind of figured.
Hold on. Was he on time?
But yes.
I was early.
But the funny thing is that you sent a message that said, "Me and Melo are late."
Yeah.
So then I'm thinking you're in the car together. And then he's already. You sent that, and he already called up that he was here and he was getting up here.
It was misleading.
What?
Bro, because I texted you by accident trying to text him that I was gonna be late. Then I realized
low
it was
key
you.
trying to throw you under the bus.
You were late too.
I'm not just late. Me and Melo are late.
He was asking where I was at in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to make sure that you showed up.
But you're
that you wasn't scared that you would actually show up.
I think he had your back.
Let's talk about this little rivalry that you guys got going on.
Hey, so before we get started, he shall address me as master or sensei.
Do you agree to that? Not at all.
No response is a response, so that he agreed. But moving on.
Where did you guys meet? How did you guys first meet?
Yeah, Melo, where do we meet?
I think we might have rolled together before. No, before the thing. We might have. But no.
The thing was,
I saw you.
Where?
At GFT with Ruben.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we might have met each other before the match.
But we didn't roll.
No. You're lucky.
You guys were married.
I just know, like, you
All right,
both
so
got the
check it out.
same-
Yeah, they got the Smash
on purpose?
Brothers.
Let's just say I
Just like
fathered
the-
his style. Like his style, his jujitsu, and everything changed after he went with me. Who became a leg locker after that?
All right. I'll give you that.
You've
I'll give
given
you
him
that.
credit on this show for
For
that.
what? When? Pull it
For-
up.
for-
Hey,
for
Jamie.
putting you on the leg
Where's
lock
Jamie
game.
at?
It's right there. His name's Bo, though.
Bo. We're gonna have to pull that.
You know
up
when you're
for
like,
proof.
Mom, I want Jamie, and she's like, we got Jamie at home.
No.
That's Jamie at home.
So, tell everybody where you guys. Well,
right.
okay, so you might have rolled together before you guys met on the mats at Substars.
Yeah, because Substars needed their mats mopped. So I was like, you know what? I'll do it for you. And he said D Melo's gonna be there, so I mopped the mats with him. Got the dub, and here we are.
He got.
Is that it?
He didn't mop anything. He got a takedown. In
So
double
you guys
overtime.
went double overtime.
Yeah,
2
so it
points.
was sub only. First to score in overtime. He couldn't take me down. A guy with no takedown defense couldn't take me down. This guy's a wrestler, and it took him double overtime. But let's talk about his submission attempts. Drew, tell us about your first one.
You know what? Before I get into my submission attempts, I'd like to ask you about your actual submission finishing during that match. Like, I believe there was a heel hook against a guy who didn't know leg locks.
You still didn't attack. You came to a jiu-jitsu match and you didn't do jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
Because
Because I believe takedowns are a part of jiu-jitsu, and I believe when you come to a match, you come to win, and that's what
It's all right.
fights do start standing up,
Mm-hmm.
but then most fights end up in the ground.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know something cool? Something funny? Because
We should have. I think
That was the most- that was the
We
most-
should have put you on opposite sides.
That
Yeah,
was
so
the
we can
most
sit there and
Joe
argue.
Madden thing I think I've ever. That was like the Joe Madden of jiu-jitsu.
The Joe Madden.
Yeah, like where you just be like, whoever crosses the line gets a touchdown. Like you would just say,
Is that his
like,
name, Joe
super-
Madden?
John Madden.
John Madden.
I was like,
I do jiu-jitsu.
It's okay that you got that wrong.
Yeah,
hey,
If you
but-
would have said Michael,
yeah, Marino.
yeah, like Michael Ryan, you know, instead of Gordon.
Gordon Ryan, yeah, exactly.
Then you would have gotten in trouble.
Who's that?
All right,
But,
so go ahead.
When we did our videos to promote, I said something in the video, right? I was talking, but then his came out and he didn't say a word. So I was like, he's trying to intimidate me.
Nah, man.
Through the video.
I'm not a trash talker, right? So like we just did a video. Like I was just training, and this guy like might have seen him before, you know,
Yeah.
and he's making a video talking trash. Like he's gonna leg lock me. I'm like,
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
what did you
I
say?
said I heard you was a leg locker, and I'm about a 4-stripe white belt, so I think I'll be all right. That's what I said, bro.
Man.
Now I will talk shit about you. Now I'm talking shit.
So what belt?
But,
what belt were you guys when you went at it?
We were brown belts, so
Brown, oh, you guys are angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is when we were
Angry brown
160
belts.
pounds. 160 pounds.
I don't know about he was 160. I know I
was-
stepped on the
How many-
scale. I was
Bro,
158.
look at it. We both look skinny as
This
hell.
guy looked chunky.
Bro.
Hey,
He got a big head. He looked like a Funko Pop.
why did brown belts want to like wrist lock everybody all the time?
We didn't try to wrist lock each other. We tried to kill each other.
It's usually not a brown on brown crime. It's usually like I noticed that like when people like if it's brown blue.
Technically brown on brown.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You guys didn't do it to each other. That's what I'm saying. In the gym, I notice it's like the brown belt's always trying to wrist lock everybody that's not a brown belt.
I kill him every time he comes to my gym or I go to his gym, but that's neither here nor there.
Where's the proof?
So wait. So
Where's the
I want to
proof?
hear the story. So you guys
Oh.
meet at, it was like the third Substars down in Miami, right?
The third.
You
second,
guys.
Hey, no, because look, the thing is that my guys kept, like my team at the time, they kept getting like destroyed by leg lockers, and I was like, this match popped up, and I was like, let me go against a leg locker. Let me see what this thing's all about. And I did, and he did not leg lock me.
So okay, this is at a time, right, when coach is still. It was like maybe
It wasn't cool
at
yet.
Brown, yeah, like well, in certain, I guess in certain circles it was,
Yeah.
but right, there were a lot of schools that still weren't teaching leg locks, right? Like you had come up with the game. When did you really start focusing on the legs? It was after that match. You're a brown belt after that match.
Yeah, after
Yeah,
that
for real.
match, and I asked
Right.
Melo to teach me leg locks.
Can you show me some leg locks, man?
Starts mumbling.
Yeah.
But that was at a time where that was just kind of the norm, right? It was just like, okay, wait till brown belt, and then maybe you're gonna like your.
Oh,
gym
I
is
just
gonna
came from a
start.
gi school. Like, all we
Yeah.
did was the gi. And
Okay.
Yeah.
people wanted to take no gi matches. And then I got the opportunity to take a no gi match. And then I fell in love with leg locks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really compete, and I was like, hey, time to do it, you know. And I learned my leg locks from Ruben, and I was also influenced by like Eddie Cummings and all those guys early. And then I would work with Wagner a lot, so we'd do a lot of drilling back and forth. I actually would come to gi class, and he would make me take the gi off, put no gi on to just do like leg lock drills in the middle.
Yeah.
So it helped elevate my game because he was developing his escapes and his counterattacks. So, you know.
So you trained under Wagner until
purple.
Until purple.
Yeah.
And then you from there
with Ruben Alvarez.
Alvarez.
Yeah. But Ruben was the first one who, Ruben back in the days was leg locking everybody. He was
purple belt Ruben.
Yeah. So I used to hate leg locks. He used to go to Wagner's and he used to ankle lock me. I'm like, man, it felt like a cheat move, you know? But kind of, you know, started liking the game. And Wagner's the one that got me more into no-gi with Ruben, you know, and then I just went down that path. And now the gi, it's like, not a gi guy.
No. How often do you train in gi at all?
I show up to the class that we teach at my school on Wednesdays, but I don't really like training the gi at all.
Yeah. You show up for training, or is it your class?
It's not my class. I show up for training.
Okay.
To support my guys.
And Melo, the night you got promoted to black belt, how was that role when you went with a certain black belt in the gi?
Well, who?
With a certain black belt in the gi. He may or may not be in this room right now.
Look,
was it you?
Yeah. I can neither confirm or deny that while I wasn't in this state.
Drew has kicked my butt in training one time. One time. It
was twice.
It was one time. It was in the gi. And that's the only time it could happen.
Yeah.
And that's it, never again.
Got a mean leg drag.
No.
So
I've been wanting to learn from him. So you know.
I was going to say.
You gotta let him work.
He is responsible for
what he is
opening the door a little bit to you.
Hold on.
Look,
I won't give him all
we're
the
not gonna
credit.
bullshit, right? That match was dope because the fights of that night was like, all right. And then if you look at the clips of our match, people were losing their minds.
Yeah, it was the energy, you know, we got on stage, we just started pumping the crowd up.
Yeah, we were like,
and like I've, you know, since I trained up with Wagner and I trained with Ruben, I would always go with him to do like seminars and stuff like that. So I got to meet a lot of people in different schools. So that I had a lot of people there too, like different teams. I knew people from his team and he knew his people. So it was just
a big reach.
Yeah, big reach. Yeah, the energy was crazy. You know,
dope.
so.
And we just kept going at each other. Like I went and like, you know, I took him down, then he went straight into a leg lock. Somehow I escaped that. And then next thing you know, I'm in a triangle. And all I see is like the room just going like this. And I see my brother like, get the fuck up. And somehow, you know how I escaped. I don't know how I escaped, but I got out of it somehow. And I think he tried to leg lock me again.
Squad.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 or 3 leg lock attempts. Triangle.
You heard that right, guys? You heard attempts. Triangle attempt.
I came to attack. That's what I did. You know what? At the end of the day, every loss, you elevate your game. You know, like I worked on mechanics and taught him how to leg locks. You know, and then he started winning some matches here and there.
So
against me.
Huh?
So you beat yourself because you taught
you a
him.
black belt? Is he saying?
No. He's
a leg lock black belt
he's
under
a
him.
black,
Is he taking credit for you?
I'm not a leg lock black belt yet. You know what I mean? But he's a black belt.
What I saw Substars try to do some events like last year. Did anything come of that? No. You looking at me all weird? Should I know?
No. What came
No, I know. Like he did.
Coming back?
He did some gym events.
You did that one. They paid you with kombucha or something.
When I run a fucking keg of kombucha.
At least you got paid or something, you know?
Yeah, kombucha.
I didn't know if he was going to try to make a real go of coming back.
All I know is those mats were set down somewhere in Wynwood, and I had a match against Wanderson.
You were in Wynwood
no
and you got
time limit.
kombucha?
No time limit, sub only, and if I won, I was gonna get some kombucha, a whole keg of it.
Did you win?
I won.
That's good.
Did you get your keg?
I did. I don't know, I drank all that damn kombucha.
I bet your your stomach flora now is
probably
pretty good.
Because of that.
You know, that's priceless.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It was dope. But I was drinking kombucha with everything, like every meal, fucking putting vodka and shit in there, like.
It's like leaving soda out in the sun and then peeing in it and then drinking it.
It's good for you, bro.
I know I drink it.
I don't know if I've ever had. I don't think I've ever had a kombucha.
Yeah.
Well, I just described. If you ever have some old soda lying around, I just gave you the recipe. It's got to be hot.
Does it taste nasty?
I don't know. Oh, kombucha?
Yeah.
It depends.
It's an acquired
No,
taste.
not pee.
It's like beer
that you peed in.
It is kind of beery. It is kind of,
it's like beer. Like it's an acquired
barley,
taste.
yeah.
Like once you taste it and you get used to it, then you're like, all right.
It's like if hippies made kimchi but liquid. It's fermented, bro.
So you guys had that fight. You did come out on top. You guys start training together, right? You start training together. You start teaching. Were you a little like, how am I going to teach this motherfucker?
He paid me. He paid me.
Okay. Oh, I thought it was friendly.
No, this ain't free.
I thought it was just like,
Hey, no, but look,
hey, man,
it started.
Great match. That's,
when we seen
that's
each
my
other.
invitation to you. No.
No, when we seen each other before the match, I was like, hey, Melo, winner buys the first beer. And it was 420. Right, so
but you didn't really know. Well, you might have rolled, but you didn't really know.
I knew who he was. I mean,
we might have, like
I don't think we rolled before, but I've seen him because Ruben came with you one night.
Yeah,
yeah, and then like I see him, like he walks in, like I was at the door, and I was like, "Yo, Melo, like winner buys the first beer." So it was cool. Like we went into the match like it was friendly, and then it was 420 too. So after the match, I give him his beer. We go outside, 420 it up, and then I was like, I want to learn leg locks. And then he's like, all right. So, he told me the rates. I started paying him. Okay. And, what happened at the gym is like, everybody's like, oh, don't give up all your jiu-jitsu just for leg locks. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you. And I just kept doing it. And then that happened in April. And then in January, I was like, all right, let me go into like an advanced division and go see what these leg locks are about. And I had 3 heel hooks that day.
It opens
I shouted him out. I shot him because, I got to be nice to him sometimes. He did teach me some shit, so.
Yeah. Hey, coming from a school where like normally don't do a lot of leg locks, I know they're starting to introduce it to the school that I'm at now. Mm-hmm. It's just like I'm a dog shit leg locker, but it opens up your game so much more. Like even to just make it a distraction so you could go back to know something you're comfortable doing. Like just especially off of people passing your guard. Like I just feel like knowing leg locks from not knowing it on purpose to like being forced to learn it.
I teach white belts.
Yeah.
I never realized though, like because of the gi, like I do train the gi Monday through Friday. It's always gi classes, or Monday through Thursday is always gi classes. We have like my gym has one no gi class on Saturday, open mat on a Saturday, and we're just rolling. We do some drilling, but kind of never registered with me. Like that's part of the reason maybe that where I'm at. But I never like, oh, you can't heel hook in the gi, like. That came later. Yeah, I didn't really understand all of that. So you're, I don't want to say ahead of the game, but I mean, I guess you were ahead of the game, right? You were
early adopter.
When it wasn't so hot, like
no,
it wasn't necessarily the thing.
It was taking off at that point. Yeah. It's not like where it's at now.
Yeah, but like you were saying before, like Ruben was leg locking in competitions like, right before it was popular.
Yeah, like I would say in Florida, like some of the top leg lockers are like Enrico Coco. Ruben, those are like the 2 main guys that you would hear about in South Florida leg locking. So
yeah, so they're responsible for that down here. I feel like and especially no-gi, like nobody was really leg locking, aside from like straight ankle locks or anything like that.
Yeah. Especially Ruben because he started traveling around doing all those grapplers quests and shit.
Yeah,
he went against Ryan Hall. He went against a lot of big names. Even on one day, he did 2 divisions, and he went up against Eddie Cummings and one of the Meows in the same day. He did 2 divisions. Wow. They did 145 and 155.
Damn.
So
the Meows do that too. They go double division all the time.
Yeah, so having like that guy as early resources, definitely helped big time. But, and I started investing in going to like seminars. Eddie Cummings seminar, Gracie Tampa blew my mind. I was like, man, Connie Basami's, all these different techniques.
Jeff Glover.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
Is that still an important part of your training?
Actually, now since I run a school, I don't train leg locks as much. I've been focusing on more positional, back control, passing. I do teach leg locks. My school is brand new, so I haven't got into that yet because I have a bunch of white belts, and I don't want that to be like they're just going for the ankles. And,
like my white belt.
Like Drew school.
yeah, like your Drew guys. Nah, everybody over there is cool. Except Drew. But I gotta make sure my guys got guard retention. They could pass, they could do everything else instead of just dropping back to do a leg lock. Because I felt like I focused so much on that those were big holes in my game, and I only got better in those areas after I lost certain matches. And I was like, man, my guard retention sucks.
Like the one at Substars.
Yeah.
Exactly. You do a lot of that.
Exactly. You know.
Do you feel that do you feel that the game is now evolving to something that's different because now there's so much leg lock defense that it feels like it's moving in a different direction where like it goes from leg lock to really good leg lock defenses are now pretty dominant, which takes the fight somewhere else?
Man, wrestling's big right now. Wrestling, working for positions like turtle. Like a lot of times you get in turtle and they take your back, right? But like there's like a whole game around just knowing how to get out of turtle because 80cc, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but leg locks are still big. Like if you don't have defense, they're going to see that hole and they're just going to take you out, right? So you have to be good everywhere nowadays. And the resources that we have now is the biggest difference, right? Like I remember when I was coming up, it's like you would see somebody that come by your gym that would show you something. Now it's like Danaher and Gordon make a DVD about every single position possible. So that's why the kids nowadays look so good. You know, there's just the amount of resources that we could provide to them, and everything's systemized now. It's not like you learn an arm bar and then next week you learn triangle and then it's like you don't know how to put it together. I feel like professors now are able to systemize everything. So it's a lot easier for people to pick up.
When do you think that you'll start talking to your white belts about, you know, below the belt, leg locks, ankle locks,
soon,
knee bars?
Probably I'm gonna go out of town next week. So when I come back, I'm probably doing leg locks.
So like it's not a brand new white belt, but like a 3 and 4 stripe white belt. He's maybe got some of the spazziness out of him and he's not going to be hurting it. I mean, I think that's a big part of it. Am I wrong? Like, you teach them too early. They're too spazzy. They grab an ankle, grab a heel hook, and then they wrench it too hard, too quick.
So the rule in my gym is white belts can't heel hook other white belts.
Okay.
But you could heel hook anybody else. Because my blue belts and up could defend heel hooks.
Okay.
But I don't hold back on teaching any student. They could be brand new and we could go over heel hooks. We could go over. I just feel like not knowing is worse.
Yeah.
Than knowing.
Yeah.
Because I've seen plenty of people in like competitions. You've seen it also. They're caught in like an inside heel hook and they're turning the wrong way.
Oh God.
You know, and like I'll go to schools and I'll put somebody in a heel hook and I let go all the time because the guy spins the wrong way and I'm like, all right, I just let it go and just get you with something else, you know, because
thank you for being a person that does that.
Yeah, right. I mean, thinking about that.
It doesn't matter unless it's Drew, you know.
Yeah. Ask him about last time he hooked me on my injured leg, and then boasts about it and celebrates.
I triangled you.
Wasn't that like on
No, I'm talking about at my school, bro.
Wasn't that on camera? Then you guys put that on?
Nah.
Is that the one who posted the video? There's a video of you. The Substars video is up on your Instagram.
Yeah, we were talking shit today.
Did you post it on your feed or just in the story?
I didn't put it was in my feed a long time ago.
Okay. So there's that match. So if you want to see the Substars match, it's up on Drew's IG. What's your IG?
At Drew_Phoenix.
All right. And then you posted.
I got a picture.
Oh, got a picture.
Yeah. When last time he came to my gym and I dominated him. Positionally.
And there was one like you got like a good side control.
Oh no, that was mount.
Okay. And then there's one where you guys, there's one picture of you roll it, and then there's one of you like mugging for the camera. Right?
I'm flexing.
Yeah,
he's
flexing, you know? Yeah.
What kind of man boasts about winning over an injured man?
What does your knee have to do with a triangle?
I could have postured out like I did during our match.
What's going on with your knee right now?
It's fucked up.
That's why you stretching it when we sat down.
Yeah.
I mean, I do that just from like being stiff, but
it's high estrogen.
Oh, wow.
So make that a reel. That one's going viral.
Well, Melo gets one point.
Yeah, Melo got one. Yeah, put him on the scoreboard. That was a good one. You're kind of funny.
Not so what's the deal?
Looking.
It's
my knee's fucked up. I have an internal tear on my meniscus that turned into a cyst. Yeah, and it's just not getting that much better. Look, listen, I've been a veteran since the end of 2009. I have nothing bad to say about the VA. A couple things, but not really. The VA is fucking me right now when it comes to trying to get treatment with this.
Because of
my advice to any veteran out there is like, if the VA is fucking with you, contact the patient advocate because they will help you out. But I'm still just running through red tape and loops and shit.
Do they not want to? Do they not want to do this?
Right, so here's what it is. I made an appointment with my primary care doctor to get looked at for my knee. Yeah. Right. There wasn't an appointment ready for 28 days. So the rule is that if that happens, then they send you out to community care, which is like you could get to see an outside doctor. So when that shit happened, I was like, yes, like great. because I got my knee surgery with the VA last time and it didn't go so great, but whatever.
Same knee or?
Yeah, same knee. Yeah, because I fucked it up in the Marine Corps and then started training jiu-jitsu. So, anyways, I go and I see the outside doctor, right? And he's like, all right. He sent me for an MRI, found out I have a cyst on my meniscus. Then he was like, all right, go to PT, right? So I started PT and then, I don't know, something happened and I went back to him and he was like, all right, we're going to try a cortisone shot. And he gave me the cortisone shot and
A couple weeks ago.
All I felt was like a bunch of pressure in my knee, but it didn't help at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. So, training, I've been focused really on like just learning like the different systems. Like I had my guys go through the whole down her back system and they've been really getting good at it.
Not for nothing, but you walked in and
Milton, you're the first to ask somebody,
You've been working out. You've been lifting, you're replacing it with lifting?
A little bit. As much as I can.
All right.
Yeah. Because I can't just sit around because I'm going fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, I can't train right now, so I'm just doing weights.
Yeah. So, what the fuck was
I didn't throw you off there by touching you, did I?
Well, you're talking about
she's here, you know what I mean? Melo's gonna get jealous. Like,
your knees.
So VA.
So
you're pissed.
Yeah,
they were gonna send you to outside care.
So he was like, getting better because you're.
So he was like, I need to see a surgeon, an ortho. I'm like, all right, cool. So people been telling me about, Dr. Abbasi. He's supposed to be one of the best down here. So I asked a lady who was like taking care of my case. I was like, yo, is Dr. Abbasi in the network? She's like, yeah. All right, cool.
Okay.
So now, like, my hopes are up. I'm like, yeah, I get to fucking get fixed so I could show up to Mortalis Jiu-Jitsu, challenge this motherfucker, take all his students, show his white belts, heel hooks and shit because he's not doing it. You know what I mean? I was getting excited. And say something.
I got a purple belt that'll smoke you right now.
Get the fuck. Steven don't count. He ain't a purple belt. And he smoked you the other day. So let's not even talk about that.
So back to the knee. Come on.
Yeah. I got a brown belt that'll fuck you up, Desi. All right. I just promoted him today.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Is that your cousin?
No.
Oh.
No.
Devin is your cousin.
Devin is my cousin. Desi. All right. So, so everything gets like, it's like, all right, everything looks like it's going to get approved, whatever. So then the lady tells me, she's like, oh, your primary care doctor inside the VA needs to approve you seeing the surgeon. I'm like,
but that after 28 days, it's not up to them.
So I called this lady fucking 10 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Like, has my primary care said anything, whatever. Finally, I figure out a way to get in touch with my primary care. And then she was like, oh, the VA says that you have to come back inside to see PMR, I think physical medicine, rehab, some shit. And you have to see them and then they'll evaluate you to see that if you need to go to ortho. So I'm like, all right. So now 4 days later, the lady calls me to schedule it. And she's like, oh, we can't see you till June 2nd. And I'm like, that's way over 28 days. So just send me back out to community care and let me just go to the damn surgeon.
The one that you want to go to.
Yeah. So then just keeps getting, thrown around the loop.
Yeah. You're doing two different things and you're caught in two different loops with them.
Yeah.
I've had that happen with me. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. So I was like, fuck it. I just call the patient advocate. I let them know what the hell's going on. So anyways, they're telling me to do this. The other lady told me, whatever. Finally, the patient advocate put a fire under the community care lady's ass. And she's like, oh, but the VA wants you to go see the doctor again. The doctor that already said the surgery. So whatever, I go see him this week.
But is that a way to like reset the clock?
Bro, you think I know? Like, I'm ready to fucking...
Right? Is that what it is? It's like, go back to our doctor, and does that reset the clock to the 28 days?
I don't know.
Like, right?
I don't know, bro.
Who knows? Probably for them.
I mean, does that
you just put it on the universe so they'll hear it and like do it. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. We'll cut that out.
It's a new rule.
Yeah.
So you're stuck in this circle jerk of...
Yeah. So I saw the doctor, I think, yesterday.
All right.
Yeah, I saw the doctor yesterday, and he was like, oh, he's like, last time I saw you was March 29th. Have you seen the surgeon yet? And I was just looking at him like, no.
That's the thing. It's usually like the people that you see are great, but they don't even know about the disorder that's already happening. There's no communication. That's why this is happening.
Yeah.
It's between like each individual person you see is cool. There's a couple of them that aren't.
Are these patient advocates, is that...
No, that's the number he called.
No. But my question is, did they bring in those did they create that patient advocate position when like in the last decade when things were getting really shitty, or have there always been patient advocates?
I don't know. One day,
I mean, were they trying to fix?
I've been out since
Fix the problem?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know when they came about, but they do help.
You still use the VA?
It's been
You use the VA?
I go to the VA. The VA in West Palm. Do you go to the West Palm one?
Nah.
Dude, try and transfer to the West Palm one.
My father.
It's
goes to
way
that
better.
one. My father loves that one, and my mother volunteers there. They live up in Wellington, so they're close.
Got it.
So,
But yeah, so
yeah.
I seen the doctor the other day, and he put it in. He's like, something about, he put it in the notes that
I was gonna say he put it in. Where did he put it in?
the patient
Where?
is delaying.
He went back the next
He
week.
gave you a proctology exam. He gave you rectal.
Second opinion.
He's been going every week since.
Dick.
Yeah, I know. You said he put it in. I was like, where?
whoa,
Where did he put it?
whoa.
Where?
Come on, man. She's
In the
here.
notes. He put it. No,
on,
she's
man.
not
My
here.
girl,
There's
you know
no
what I mean?
audience.
That's what it
but
takes
she's
to
just-
get.
She's just a fly on the wall.
That's what you got to do to get good VA care.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, right?
So I actually have a military related question. We're gonna go like kind of just change topics. How has being a Marine helped you in your BJJ journey at all, or is it like? Look, I met you. Let me say this. I met you as part of Kenny's group. Like you were coming in, and he was he had a lot of veterans training, and it was a lot of veterans training because of like issues with PTSD, right? So that's kind of like how I met you. I don't know if did being a Marine help you with jiu-jitsu or drive you to jiu-jitsu?
Probably
Right.
both.
Right.
So just being Marine, like one of the things that we always say is training is continuous. So I never had a problem showing the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's how it helped me really, is like that dedication and just showing up and not really
That
too much
discipline.
worrying.
The discipline.
Yeah. 'Cause I always showed up to train.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how it helped me with that. And then the wanting to do jiu-jitsu, it's like when it comes to being, I think I might have spoke about this on the podcast, like the archetypes, like the king, warrior, magician, lover.
Mhm.
Yes.
I think you
yeah.
can speak
It's
about
been a
it.
while. You can talk about it if you want. That's many episodes ago.
Yeah. So there's 4 archetypes that make up the masculine psyche. And it's king, warrior, magician, lover. And usually we're like a mix between the two. Like, I mean, we have a mix of all of them. So just like think the Ninja Turtles, right? Leonardo's king. So people that do jiu-jitsu, they have high warrior archetypes, right? Because you don't necessarily need a warrior job to be a warrior. You just need that, like, to take action. Like, you always want to take action. That has to do with something, like either fighting for something. So what I might have said this on the podcast before, is like when it comes to veterans, it's like if you're not fighting for something, you're going to end up fighting yourself.
Okay.
So
That makes sense.
yeah, you get it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I say it more as for me, it's like idle hands do the devil's work is like a real thing for me. Like if I'm not doing anything, I'm self-destructive. I'm messing things up everywhere. Yeah. If I got some, that's why I got to sign up for stuff, whatever it is. I've always done weird races, just like running races and shit. Like I've signed up for weird ones, like 50,
when I
you going to
first started training with us, you were doing. Did you do
50 miles.
triathlons or something?
Yeah, I did a triathlon, did a half Ironman. That was more of a bet because I kept calling. I was like, anybody could do that, and I was like super fat, and then I took the bet and then I crushed it.
How about you, Melo? How did you find jiu-jitsu?
My girlfriend at the time was training jiu-jitsu in New York. That's where I met her at. And
You from New York originally?
yeah, I used to live in New York also.
Where?
She used to kick your ass.
In Brooklyn. No.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, right.
So she liked jiu-jitsu. She did it like what was that thing you could like pay? It's like a coupon and you get like Groupon. She did a Groupon and she went to like Vitor Shaolin. And I knew people in jiu-jitsu because I always just like watch UFC, like BJ Penn. So I remember I would drive by Wagner's all the time, but I was always like intimidated to go in there. Like everybody was really big.
Wait, so that was New York.
I met her in New York and she stayed behind and she moved back later. But she had started jiu-jitsu over there beforehand.
All right.
So I was like, man, she can't be doing this and not me.
She gonna kick my ass.
Yeah, so I tried it the first time. I actually got submitted by a girl the first time. And I was like, hey, I got to stick to
Nothing
this.
wrong with that, right?
No, there's nothing wrong
with that.
Happens all the
What do you
time.
mean?
I didn't get submitted by a girl the first time I walked in.
Shout out to Carrie.
Even though I have a video of her
Submitting.
doing the triangle on me. They got like 250,000 views.
Yeah, so for me, like I've always worked in the automotive industry, so that's very stressful because your pay is up and down depending on the type of work. So like jiu-jitsu gave me an outlet to release stress, so you don't have to try somebody and kill them at work. You know, you could just simulate murder somewhere else. You know?
That's my favorite part. I tell my wife when I don't get to like pretend murder somebody, I'm not myself. Not that I'm not myself. I'm just, I guess I'm not myself. I'm a different person. I'm just like, I need to take those bricks off. And
I think about it all the time. Like, you know, everybody goes through depression, their ups and their lows. And I think like, man, if I didn't have this, what would I be doing right now? Because I remember before I would just play video games and just eat. And I was really heavy when I started jiu-jitsu. I weighed like 210.
Ooh, dang.
So I found it at the right time.
What'd you say?
Said if I weigh that much, but look at him.
This guy.
Remember we were 160 pounds?
Juicy.
Yeah. You weren't.
No, but
yeah, so like definitely like what everybody says, you know, like the cliche, you know, jiu-jitsu definitely like saved my life or, you know, helped my life at least, I feel.
It for sure.
Yeah, it gave me purpose. And now I'm in a transitionary phase where I'm going from working my whole life in an automotive field to hopefully one time finally doing like full-time jiu-jitsu, at least coaching and running the school. And that's a learning process within itself. Yeah. Too.
Are you okay with talking about what your day job?
Yeah. It's fine.
Who do you work for?
I work for Tesla. Yeah. So
what's up with Twitter?
Twitter? I don't know about the financial.
You don't got? Can you give me Elon's email and I'm gonna reach out? No.
Yeah, it's at Elon Musk.
Yeah, right.
He replies.
Just tweet them.
There, it is an email.
That's a quick way to get fired.
Yeah. How long have you been working there?
9 years. It's gonna be 10 in March. So been there for a long time.
It's like as long as you've been doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I started at Tesla a couple months after starting jiu-jitsu. I was 28 when I started jiu-jitsu.
Do you drive a Tesla?
No.
So you've worked.
Have you ever driven a Tesla?
Oh yeah. Time, yeah.
No, I mean like, did you ever own one?
Oh no,
not just driving.
No. Because like at the point that I kind of wanted a Tesla, I was like, man, I want to open up a gym. So I was like, hey, how can I start budgeting and like not have a car payment? I have a Honda that's paid off, so just trying to think a little bit smarter for that time that I do make that transition.
Yeah.
I don't have an $800 car payment.
Where's your gym?
It's down on Southwest 152nd Street. We're close to the Miami Zoo.
What?
Off the Turnpike, Richmond Heights.
By the Chili's? Oh, Richmond Heights.
Yeah, so we're off the Turnpike, and
I'm
the other
Kendall,
side is Chevy, the Chevy dealer.
Yeah.
So yeah, we primarily do no-gi, but we also do gi a couple times a week. But our focus is mostly no-gi. A lot of wrestling. Every class starts with wrestling.
So
do you do that?
I do the wrestling.
Did you get better at your wrestling?
You can't take me down now.
Get the fuck.
Blame your knee.
Here
You
goes.
keep blaming your knee.
Of course.
He's got a doctor's appointment, and it's like you know when like Amazon says they're coming to your house, but it's like with him it's like 4 to 6 months, not like 4 to 6 p.m.
It's like wish.com.
It's variable.
Hey, just be ready when I get back.
Hey, let me know when it's happening. I want to watch.
all right, we're gonna do. We have a bunch of listener questions. You got. I think this is probably the most listener questions
talk
we
to
got
me, of course.
between you guys. Some of them were like that. I'm not going to use. Like these people definitely know you. Somebody was asking about cream cheese on sushi. Like
That's Steven.
Some really odd questions. So thank you for the question, Steven, but we're not necessarily going to use that today unless you really want to answer that.
It's a JB role.
It's not nothing dirty.
Is that an inside
it's
joke?
nothing dirty. Like we're just like talking about food, you know, and he's like, he likes sushi with cream cheese in it. I was like, that's not real sushi. Like he doesn't get that.
That's a JB. That's a JB role.
So like I call anything that like I don't eat a lot of the raw stuff. Like I eat everything's tempura, and people say, right, that's not sushi. Is that you? Right?
Yeah.
That's not sushi. Sushi is really the raw stuff, right? I mean, that's what.
I mean, tempura is kind of like sushi,
like I get like the tempura rolls.
Like if you go to like an omakase, they're not going to give you cream cheese.
You're gonna get sashimi.
Yeah, you're gonna get sashimi or whatever the chef gives you.
It's
but
just
they're
like
never
the
giving
fish
you.
on the rice, right? That's sushi.
Sashimi sometimes is just a fish, and they'll like glaze it with some soy on top of it, and
So
then rub wasabi underneath it.
So good.
Yeah.
So that's the cream cheese. It was nothing dirty.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? Like those are fun rolls for me because I like if you eat a lot of sushi, also like you're into beer, right? Like sometimes you drink a Bud Light. You know what I mean? And
I don't drink a Bud
You don't
Light.
drink a Bud Light? No. It's like
That's
the
why he
water
didn't
of
drink
beer.
one of the
I'll drink a lager. I'll drink a lager, but I won't drink a Bud Light.
A lager.
Okay, yeah, drink a lager. But what I'm saying is like they're
What's the difference between a beer and a lager?
No, it's the same thing. It's just a different type. It's like lighter beer.
Like a Pilsner.
So he was serious. You're really into beer.
I was into beer. I used to trade beer.
How do you trade beer?
through the U.S. Postmail, which is I think
like
illegal.
really like what like get like beers that they wouldn't be, like somebody else wouldn't be able to get in their area or something.
Yeah, like you go like on Facebook and you're like, oh, he has a bottle of
a Doghead that's like 120 IPA
or something, and I have this from Jay Wakefield, and I'm in Miami and he's in Maine, and there's a brewery that's
he's never gonna get that beer.
He's never gonna get that unless he comes down here, and it might be a limited release. Like people would camp out for beer overnight.
There's people who,
so we would trade, and it's based like on trust, you know. But sometimes like the package breaks, and it's like you just got to take the L, you know.
Damn.
Yeah.
But that got expensive, man, because shipping and just buying the beers too. Craft beers are expensive.
Super.
Like a 4-pack's like $24, $26 for a 4-pack.
There's some IPAs that are like $80 for 4.
Yeah, stout bottles could go. Yep. I think they just released one in Wynwood for like $100 for a stout bottle.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm getting like
Corona.
like Blue Moons, and like I got away from like the family always drank Coronas. I was like a Mick Ultra guy. He's pretty, but like
it is what it is.
He's like,
it is what it is.
I started getting like the Big Wave and what's the Jamaican beer?
Kona Big Wave is great.
Red Stripes, stuff like that. Like when I moved, we have a nice. My father gave me a big ass fridge that he had in his kitchen that he got a new one, gave me his old one. So that became like my beer fridge. So when I open it up, it's just like I made it look like a store. Like this row is just rows of beer.
I started the
but
same
all my
way.
stuff is like just plain stuff. But
I started the same way. Like I just started trying different beers that were at Publix because Publix started carrying like
you
Funky Buddha. They started you could mix it.
And you can mix your own packs.
Mix what?
You could go there
just
and
the mix.
Yeah, they had like a little section, and you could just pick different bottles from like local breweries because like Florida's has a lot of good breweries.
Yeah.
So I started just dabbling with that at Publix, and then I started finding out, wait, people trade it on Facebook, and you know,
like I'll go to the store and I'll just randomly grab stuff just to be like, I'm gonna just try this, and somebody's gonna drink it at the house eventually. But that's just kind of how I discover beers. But it's always like Publix, Whole Foods. I mean, it's not probably Publix, the same stuff.
Whole Foods has a better selection.
Yeah.
But
World of Beer was really cool.
I know it's an old brand, and you said it before. It was kind of like I guess it's mass produced now, but like Angry Orchard for me, that was stepping out on a limb. I'm like, I don't know. You know.
Yeah, that's
it's kind of almost tastes like a mix between a wine and a beer.
Yeah, it's like a cider.
Cider.
I guess
it's like Strongbow.
But I like it. But like now that's my.
I have buddies have celiac, so they have to drink cider beers.
Oh yeah.
Like
celiac disease.
Yeah,
celiac. It's like a stomach thing, right?
Yeah,
because of the barley.
Oh, that's the gluten thing.
Yeah,
the barley and the.
All right.
Yeah, but they can do ciders, so
that's cool.
So he is fucking bougie. So he
told you
what take us out for a beer,
bro. Everything I say about Melo is true, bro.
Not everything.
I don't know. All right, look, we're gonna just do a quick shout out. We're gonna talk about MANSCAPED. Have you ever used MANSCAPED?
No.
We're gonna take a break, ladies.
Do you MANSCAPED?
Of course.
Okay, same.
Always.
Have you ever used the MANSCAPED
I
brand?
actually bought the first version. I haven't got the new version.
What?
Hey,
20% off with code JJD.
Nice.
You can go buy a house in Japan and ship it.
So this is their newest one. This is called the Lawnmower, and everybody said the same thing. We said the same thing without even like talking. We just both said this is like the perfect combo though with the guard that doesn't come off. You ever shit and it pops off? You never had that? I have like I have another brand. I'm not supposed to mention the brand.
Bro, you got to be like.
I have another brand, and like if you do it too fast, it comes off.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, zzz, and you're like, fuck,
You're
now I gotta shave
now.
the whole thing. Now I got to go all the way down.
Hey, so I have a question.
So, go ahead.
How does this thing on the balls?
That's what it's made for.
Sensitive area.
Designed
Well,
for.
tell them. So look,
We're talking about
like
both
this
balls.
is I'm gonna use. Well, no, because he made a joke about it.
That's our new
So
segment.
Try it on Drew right
when
now.
you're just going, here, right? You go something's more smooth, right? You can go here.
It's got a light, bro. Look at the light.
But when you're gonna go off road, as Bo likes to call it, then you put the what is that called? What are these?
It's called the guard.
Yeah, it's called the guard.
guard, right?
Yeah.
So with
It's
the guard,
Melo doesn't have.
It's got good
perfect.
guard retention.
It's perfect. Yes. There you go. So it doesn't come off. It doesn't come off, but it's also, I mean, at least for me, it's the perfect length.
But I'm saying, do they get the balls nice and shaved?
Yeah. Dude,
But catch all
the best
the nicks
that I've had.
I don't know.
Getting the nicks.
I'd have to try it.
Yeah.
You do. 20% off.
Just use his.
10% off with code
Try it out.
JJD. And free shipping.
I'm not gonna.
But
he's trying to get you to loan you his so you could try it out.
Yeah,
That's
throw
what
a
he's
little
trying.
alcohol
You do not loan a bowl.
What's the proper?
This is Bo's, so he hasn't used it yet. So
Do not
you can
loan
use it,
each
but just bring it
other.
back next time.
It's like a toothbrush. You don't share toothbrushes.
Why not?
Sometimes I like to
Don't
mix
share.
it
You
up.
ever share a toothbrush with Drew? No.
I brush my teeth with my kids' brushes just to freak them out sometimes.
Oh,
Whoa,
God.
Do you
You
We'll
are
say that again?
just to freak them out
Damage.
you brush your teeth
with
You're
their
a petri
toothbrush.
dish.
with their toothbrush?
Just to
All
wear them
right.
out.
You're a human petri dish.
And then
man.
that's usually the days that I bought them new toothbrushes. So
So
just a game.
I came in today, and he goes, "Yeah, man, I used the Manscaped on my
My face. After I already, so like,
That's called
after
that's
you
handlebar,
already-
right? That's handlebar mustache.
yeah, you know the separation of church and state. I broke that.
Did you? I hope you clean. Like, did you?
It did. Okay,
I have
that's what
a
was
little-
talking about.
I have a little alcohol spray,
It stays
so-
pretty clean. Yeah, I got the
I
Barbasol
did
stuff.
a
Yeah,
little alcohol spray on it.
yeah, or whatever Barbasol makes. I don't know. I got like the blue stuff.
The pakata. Wow.
Oh, the actual blue, like the blue stuff that they put.
He's
like
making
the,
reggaeton sounds.
No, it's a spray. It's aerosol. It's bad for the environment or something. I don't know.
So look, so that's the exact thing. Like the whole, like, does it get close and is it going to cut? That's where the Manscaped comes in.
It's specifically designed for your balls. And it works.
see-
And it works on my face. I don't know what that says
Hey,
about
yo,
my
Manscaped,
face,
send
but
me, send me one of these so I could try it.
Hold on, wait, is the logo on?
I'll
Here?
make you a reel that's gonna get 1 million views.
it's on the conditioner. I believe.
Is it?
Yeah, their logo is a ball sack, dude.
Oh, look at the box. Look at the box.
Check
out
The
the
logo,
See the
the
logo?
logo is a sack, bro.
But
then-
it's like a
So-
halo with wings. Like they're
on.
gonna fucking chop off my balls.
No, you'll feel.
All balls
they'll
go to
feel-
heaven. Like
they-
what the fuck is
All
this?
balls go to heaven.
all balls go to heaven.
Yeah.
No, they're not gonna send me.
Hold on for a second. So wait, so look at right. So
Not
right,
heaven.
that's the logo, right?
Yes,
Now you see what it is.
I see.
It's a
what it
sack.
is.
That's a sack, right?
It's a upside down heart. yeah.
Okay, right.
That's
Then
what
that's a
sack is
heart.
designed after.
What else do you see there?
A penis.
You see a penis there?
It's like a pointy thing, bro. It looks like a shot. Well, I don't know.
You don't
What do you
see-
tell me to look at?
Oh, but that little,
Bro.
the little button. You don't
It's
see
a
the little button?
Yeah. Oh.
I'm sorry for you.
He still hasn't found it.
You don't know what that looks like,
You
huh?
gotta put an arrow on there.
I'm like,
Like
yeah,
at the
that.
mall- like
Wait a
at the
minute.
mall?
So it's the Manscaped, it's the heart, and then it's the little.
Womanscaped. The Womanscaped.
Yeah.
Just so that would you like to see? I don't, overstep my bounds here, right? So,
Yo, what the
right? That's
Do I still have to hold this?
Drew's girlfriend is off camera here. You seen this before? I didn't notice that. That it's all three.
He needs the light from the. He needs the light.
Hey, that's one for Melo. I'll give it to him. That's one for him.
Two, I think.
Isn't that clever? But it was funny because nobody realized we saw it. We saw
Okay,
the
nobody
sack.
realized. How am I
And then-
supposed to?
And then Bo said, "Oh, look,
fuck, you didn't know what it
he's a
was.
designer." So he looked at it, he's like, "Oh, it's a heart." Or was it you that said it's a heart
I
upside
said
down?
It's a heart.
No, I
yeah.
said
And then when I turned it
told-
upside down to see the heart, I'm like, wait a minute.
Mira.
That's a
There's
good
something else
logo
here.
design where you could hide different things from your
That's great.
business. in there.
Absolutely.
Leave it to a one.
He didn't find them.
You're in bro. Listen, you're gonna have some. You give me some lessons this weekend. Come here. Don't embarrass me like that again,
Weekend.
Drew.
It's Cinco de Mayo, dude.
Yeah, whatever.
Do I still have to hold this bottle?
No. You can
Okay.
take that back. You can put that down over there. We don't.
Yeah.
We're not too worried about it.
Don't throw it.
Sink full of mayo.
So we'll work on getting you
Cinco de Mayo.
both a bag out. We'll see what buttons we can turn over here and see.
Buttons?
I don't know how much pull we have.
Yeah.
At Manscaped yet. But
Make sure his has a flashlight because he.
we'll get him an extra spot. We'll get you one of these lights.
Yeah.
One of these studio lights.
I did. I'm curious.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Don't leave me.
Hi,
I'm
Curious.
in suspense.
My name's Milton. How are you?
Damn, born to be
Well-
a dad.
Just to be fair,
Okay.
if you use that on your girlfriend, then she could wear the shirt. It says Manscaped. But
I
she's
see what you're
been
saying.
manscaped by
Oh,
the
okay.
yeah.
right?
Well, I mean, women can use.
Hold
the
on, I'll be
product. I
right
mean, it's
back.
just not.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
Hi, honey. I'll be right down.
I'm not trying to. No, that's like turning it into barbershop. You know,
What the
I'm not
man-
trying to like go. I would just tape you up. You know, like,
Oh God.
and it's just, Caesar.
Oh my God.
All right, so
Blowout.
Guys are crazy.
So what we got, so everybody knows, if you go on to manscaped.com, we got the performance package from them. So it's the Weed Whacker, right? Then it's the Lawn Mower.
4.0, right?
The lotions that you see on the table. Bo, you got those lotions on the table. I know we messed with them before, right? The boxer shorts that I mentioned before, right? So that you get this whole package.
The travel bag.
The travel bag was underneath.
The chargers, the wireless chargers.
Wireless charger, a base. There's wires for charging both of them.
Big up for going USB-C. I like that.
Smart, right?
That's a big move.
Yeah, right. So that's the full performance package. They call that the performance package 4.0, right? So you'll get all of that stuff. And then what's the other? There was one other thing. Okay, so this was the Crop Reviver and then the deodorant. They don't get the shirt. We got the shirt.
Oh, special? My bad. Y'all don't get
a little extra
start
special.
a podcast. You get a shirt.
So we got that. But look, so if you don't remember earlier, we said if you do buy anything from Manscaped, send us an email or message online. We're going to enter you into a raffle on our end of $250 worth of jiu-jitsu products.
Yeah.
So we're going to do like the Flow and Roll t-shirt.
It's got to be like a receipt,
we're doing a new rash guard with them. We're doing a podcast rash guard.
The swag
and we get the backpack, the coffee mug.
Yeah.
Keychain, and probably throw in some. And every time I send, that's like our guest swag bag. So when we send that out, Sean from Flono almost always throws like something else.
Yeah.
So
we should throw like an honorary guest certificate in there because we give it to the guest, and now they're getting the same kind of treatment. I got napkins at home. I could do that.
All right, so get 20% off and free shipping with code JJD at manscaped.com. Again, that's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and you're going to use code JJD. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Tools for the jewels, baby. Let's go.
Jewels.
You like that one, right?
Thank you to DD214 Fightwear, gear for patriotic rollers. Visit their website, dd214bjj.com, and get 15% off your online order with code JJD. And check them out on Instagram at dd214_fightwear. Thank you to Feito IT and AV, specializing in commercial and residential automation, security cameras, CCTV, POS, and more. Check them out at feitoitav.com or call 305-428-2515 and let them know the dummy sent you. Thank you to Neutral Zone CBD, a combat family-owned company that supports athletes and the people who love them. Neutral Zone strives to deliver clean CBD products for sports recovery in gummies, lotions, balms, roll-ons, and more. After a competition, a hard rolling session, or a tough day on the job, Neutral Zone has a product designed to help you reduce inflammation, increase cell rejuvenation, and may even help with aging joints. Visit NeutralZoneCBD.com and get 25% off your order with code JJD. And follow them on Instagram too, at MyNeutralZone. Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box has now joined the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast. The BJJ box is delivered to your door filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. The crew at the BJJ box find the best in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost. Each box includes 4 to 7 items you're going to love. Visit thebjjbox.com and use code JJD10 to get $10 off your very first box. And give them a follow on Instagram at TheBJJBox. All of us here at the Jiu Jitsu Dummies would like to thank the entire crew over at Flow and Roll for their tremendous support. They're renowned for their incredible t-shirt designs, and they've got something for everyone. Flow and Roll quickly rose up to become the premier custom apparel provider for academies, big or small, throughout the United States. Shoot them an email about your custom order, flowandroll@gmail.com, and they'll be more than happy to get you hooked up. Check them out on Instagram at flow_n_roll for samples of their gi and no-gi kits. They conveniently offer flexible payment options too. Head over to flowandroll.com for more details, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu Jitsu Dummies signature tee, now exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your online purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD. Special thanks to George Hernandez, Claims Adjuster. Have you experienced damage in your residential or commercial property in the states of Florida or Texas from flood or fire, storms, theft and vandalism, even sinkholes, just to name a few? Don't get stressed out dealing with your insurance provider. Call George Hernandez today and let the professionals get you the most compensation possible. Visit HernandezClaims.com or call 305-712-6751 to get help now. And stay in touch with them on Instagram at Hernandez Claims.
All right. So let's get back to, so we got we did get a whole bunch of questions.
So many.
All right. So we got a couple of silly ones here. All right. So let's see here.
Silly ones
I
are the
like
best ones,
I like this one. I like who know? I think she trains with one of you guys. I think it's a girl named Gaffy. Gaffy.
She's from Swamp
Arm
Academy.
Bars and air bubbles.
She comes and visits us sometimes.
Okay. She's
Me. She comes to visit my gym.
All right. So she's not a full-time student?
No, she just visits.
Okay. All right. So she had two questions for you. And she said, did you find that your training commitment and intensity increased as you advanced through the belt system? Or did you put in relatively consistent effort from white to black?
Now, white belt, once I got like my second stripe, I just wanted to just compete. That's like when I did IBJJF. I went to New York, got my ass whooped, went to Chicago, won. I remember I was excited as hell about that one. I did not take
that white belt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I subbed two of the guys, and I was a 4-stripe white belt, and it was just dope.
What were you training at that time? Who were you under?
I was under Yaniv Rosenberg.
Early days.
Yeah. Actually, Armando Conde at the time, actually.
Could you wound up under
Cyborg?
Under Cyborg or under Wagner? Were you under Wagner at a point?
Cyborg.
But you told me Wagner gave you your purple belt.
No.
Didn't you tell me? Who was here?
I got my purple belt from Wagner.
You got your purple belt from Wagner. Who was here that said, oh, I'm sorry, Junior. Wagner gave Junior his purple belt.
He did?
I think he tied it on him that day at the
Junior
promotion.
Vega. I thought you meant Junior Ruben Jr.
No,
like,
Junior. Little Junior.
Yeah, I mean, Ruben is
Even more, littler Junior. Sorry, Junior. So you were training under who at the time when you started competing?
I was at Yaniv Rosenberg's gym, but our black belt was Armando Conde.
Okay.
He's the one that gave Felipe and Sofia their blue belts.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I remember he was like in the corner. He's like, bye, Andres. Bye. He used to call me Andres.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty dope. So, yeah. So
did that level of intensity
yeah, bro,
increase, decrease, or you've just always been on that same?
Yeah, and then at blue belt, I kept going and doing no-gi tournaments, and they had this like police versus firefighter versus
veterans.
Yeah, versus veterans military, and I won that tournament. Got a super fight. It was like when super fights just came out. I remember I was competing with Tubby too. Like she was a blue belt at the time, and we had the walkout music. It was some place in West Palm, and I choked out a cop. It was dope. So and Ruben was cornering me that day. It was him and what's that other little guy? Christian Woodmansey? Is it Woodmansey?
The guy with the tattoos on his neck?
Yeah, they were both in my corners when I was under Fight Sports. So yeah, so my training intensity from 2-stripe white belt to blue was off the charts. And then when I tore my ACL at blue belt, I didn't step back on the mats for like 3 years.
Really?
And then between blue and purple, like it was just really getting over like that anxiety. It's just getting over that shit during that time. And then I competed one time at purple belt in the gi, and I got my ass whooped. And then I competed at brown belt no gi, and I won that match.
You don't want to let that go.
I was just saying it, like just completed the story.
Common story though that I think we all take off, and then like boom, injury, age.
Life.
If that didn't slow us, life, right? Yeah. Life, moving, girlfriends, boyfriends, marriage.
Yeah, Melo's boyfriend is
usually those things slow us down, right? How about you? Did you? What's your ride been like? Do you have any kind of?
From the start, I was hooked. So I've been training 6 to 7 times a week, like since I started. Because I came from a competitive gym, so it was always somebody was getting ready for a fight or whatever. So they always throw us in with people. Injury wise, I haven't really been out too long for anything. I separated an AC joint, had my knees popped a couple times, but nothing that requires surgery. But I haven't really been out for like more than 3 weeks. I'd say probably a rib injury. Probably took the longest.
Ooh.
But
Those
I always
These
find
guys back here, I mean, I've had that one back here.
The floating rib, that thing's horrible.
had one of those.
But I never really took time off. Like, even though I would be injured, I would at least sit there and watch or drill whatever I could and just kept training, you know. I never had, you know, thank God, at least to this point, I haven't had nothing that take me out the mat, with an operation or something.
As black belts and gym owners, if you do have an injured student, do you like them to show up? Is it like, show up anyway, be here?
Yeah,
sit?
I think it shows commitment and it just shows like they really want to learn. Even if they can't get on the mat, they could watch, you know.
So I've been when I'm hurt, I usually find something else to fill that time that I would train, like weightlifting, walking, if you know, depending on the injury. How do you guys look at that? Like, for someone like I've been out, I tried to go back, hurt myself again. So I've been out for almost 3 months. And I only went when I was like, all right, let me train. Let me see if I can get back on. And then I don't go, but I'm not going because my commitment isn't there. I'm like, oh, let me take this opportunity. I need an outlet. I'm going to take this opportunity to spend that hour, 2 hours weightlifting, doing something. Do you guys look at that? Like, upon that, you know, like,
I think
poorly?
As long as you're doing something, it's important, you know, like you're staying active. I would like you to be in jiu-jitsu, right? But if you're not ready, everybody's journey is different, you know? So sometimes you need that time off to let your body heal. Like, every time I had an injury, I feel great when I come back, you know? Like, I needed that.
Yeah, like nothing hurts for a while.
And you actually, sometimes it's weird. Like, you don't train for like 2 weeks. You come back and you feel better than before. Because sometimes I feel like you overtrain. Yeah. You're overthinking positions. And sometimes that break helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely helps. And I would like my students to always like show up.
Yeah.
Because then it's a life lesson, you know, about quitting.
Yeah.
Because I almost like 3 years.
3 years out
of blue. You know, when I was a blue belt, like I could have not trained jiu-jitsu for the rest of my life, and then my life would be shitty right now. You know, so definitely show up. And then, you know, you talk about the weightlifting. Like, if you can lift weights, do it. Like doing something. Like, if you could do it. But I know that shit's tough. Like, when you're injured, like I'll tell you, like my personal experience right now, like I don't want to show up to the gym and lift weights. I don't want to do it. Right? I do it because I know that it's good for me, but I don't want to do that shit because I want to roll.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to do jiu-jitsu.
But it's different now. You're a gym owner too. So now you have people looking up to you.
Like you. Come on, put one up there for Drew.
No, yeah, I don't know if that's worthy right now. Not that one.
Come on, black belt has spoken.
Give him a half.
Hey, hold on. You haven't called me master or sensei this whole time, bro.
Until you tap me.
Do you guys train together often now?
Melo always wants to see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go sometimes up to his gym on the weekends. It's been a little while. I think the last visit was you, right? Or was it me?
Yeah, no, I came down.
Yeah. Tried to, but it's hard with, you know.
Yeah, it's so damn far.
And then people are competing, so you got to travel as part of the gig.
So you work in a day job and then you just open in the evening? So is your gym open during the day and somebody else is
I have a brown belt running classes at 5:30 a.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
That's some commitment right there.
We have a good size.
Trying to get up early to train.
Yeah, he's a Marine, and so a lot of the students that go there in the morning are Marines or law enforcement. They like it. You know, you get that sweat out, start your day. You know, feels good when you work. If you can actually wake up in the morning and make it to work, you feel good. You know, so these guys like that. You know, it's really early where they can still go home and shower. You know, so
I used to do that at Wagner's. It was awesome.
Yeah,
I was like super.
Yeah, he has a shower now.
Yeah,
before it wasn't like that.
Yeah,
we just run out back, grab the hose, and take a cold shower in the back.
And shout out to Jose.
See, in the morning, like I could do it on Saturday and Sunday because I'll go to open mats 9, 10 on a Saturday and Sunday. But during the week, as soon as I wake up, my mind is like, okay, there's emails today. I know it's not the right thing, but email. Oh shit, somebody sent me something. Let me check. And I'm like, if I check, it's over. If I cannot check, keep the phone closed, but do the workout, and then come back.
Much better.
So much better for the mind.
Executive classes.
It's so hard, man. It's so
a
hard.
Rabbit hole. You just like open up Instagram and then you're scrolling. It's 20 minutes.
The second I see a client that needs something, I'm like, I got to tell myself they're still sleeping. They didn't send you that email expecting you to answer in 5 minutes, but in my mind, I can't. My mind's not working like that. It's like, answer that now. That could be money. That could be a saved account. It could be a new account. Does he have a referral? Does it? Then it's.
That's why meditation is so important because your mind is a machine.
Yeah.
So you doing that to yourself, you're burning out your dreams.
Yeah.
You're like putting yourself in fight or flight. You're like,
I've like noticed that my short-term like recall, like I'm horrible with like remembering people's names, or like I just went to this restaurant. What's the name? And I was telling them like I think there's like I got to start taking something. And they're like, bro, you're just like your cup runneth over. Like you just have so much going on that it's not that. It's like you just can't fit anything else into your process. I say like my mind is like a bucket that's completely full. And if somebody tells me one thing, something else is falling out, right? There's one little drop coming out. So, but
meditation definitely helps.
Yeah.
Because it gives your mind a break, and also it helps you deal with your initial response to something. Like instead of having that like primal response to everything that comes through, which is like a fight or flight response.
Reactive.
It gives you, what I found with meditation, it gives you a space in between the stimulus and your response.
It's almost like the thinking before you talk, right? Like, right, old school, like when you think before your mother tell you, father tell you,
or think
before you speak.
Yep, think
like
before
that
you
kind of
speak.
like gives you that.
Or the way like you may react to a coworker or something that just bothers you, you'll have that space to really choose how you want to deal with it, rather than just automatic and being reactive, like you said.
Do you meditate regularly?
Not as much as I should anymore, but I was heavy on it for a while.
How about you, Melo?
I don't meditate.
No.
But when do you meditate though? Like how do you time that? Like
they have right now, like I got a story for y'all. So they have these guided meditations on YouTube, right? So you could pick like 5 minute, 10 minute, whatever.
They got ads?
I don't know, bro. And so this conversation that we're having, like I was having with my girlfriend, right? So she's like, all right, like in the morning, will you meditate with me? I'm like, sure. So
this is you. Yeah. You meditate. Do you meditate regularly?
No, the other girlfriend.
I didn't mean it like that. Jesus.
Damn it. Put me out there.
Everybody can't hear what you said, but
I don't, but I totally relate to what you were just saying.
Yeah. So he's trying to get you to meditate. Okay. All right.
Yeah, because I see it like you just wake up and it's just like, like you just go like that. It's not good for you, right? Yeah. So she's down, right? So she's like, so all right. So we said like we're gonna do it at a certain time, and it's all right. So wake up, and we both kind of like just waking up, and it was like 5 minutes till we we're gonna meditate. So I was like, all right, let me find a good meditation. So I go on YouTube and I put in 5 minute guided meditation, right? So she has her back towards me, right? And I'm there on the phone. And I was like, let me just hear what it says. Like, for whatever reason, I just want to hear what it says. Then all of a sudden I press play, and the first thing that she says is, "Good morning, my love."
Oh shit.
So she's like, "Excuse me?" Bro, that's a Puerto Rican woman. I almost lost my life. I'm like, babe, it's the meditation.
Yeah. You listened to a message.
Right? I had never heard of a meditation get started like that. I've been meditating for years. Never heard a meditation start off like that.
That's how you know there's a God.
Yeah.
So now,
I almost saw him.
Is 5 minutes enough?
Bro,
like, you just said 5 minutes. I'm like, man, I could do 5 minutes. I could do 15 minutes, but
it's like that's like the question. Like people say, is one training session a week good enough? Like it's not good enough, but it's a good start.
Yeah. You gotta start somewhere.
It's better than nothing.
So, believe it or not, I started meditating after doing I borrowed the P90X DVDs from a friend, and they had something. I don't know if it was I think they called it Yoga Belly, and at the end of it, or at least a few of their videos, they would do like you would do like ohms, like sit and do ohms, lay down, do ohms, and then they like. I was like, wow, like at the end of that like hour and 20-minute video, like doing that, I was like, oh shit, I had just broken up with my girl. Got a new apartment. I mean, this was like I had gotten into a car accident, a DUI. So I was losing my license. I had to get rid of my car. Like everything was a mess.
Yeah.
And I was doing those videos. I was like by myself, living with my girlfriend, breaking up, moving into our own places. And and I only had like 4 of them. So it was like, there's supposed to be like 12 of them or something. I had like 4 of the DVDs. And I got into it and I got into it like, not I don't say seriously, but I was doing it often. Because I was doing that, then sometimes I wouldn't work out, and I would just do the meditation because I started to need it.
Yeah.
Then I just got away from it. So I'm a believer, but then it's also like, okay, do I have time to do this?
You can make time. 5 minutes.
I know.
And look, it's easy. You don't even have to overcomplicate it. Just
I have a gym in the garage now, and that's like nobody bothers me when I'm in there. Like a bag, a speed bag, mats, got the grappling dummy, but I put it all in there, and then I got hurt. So I'm like, I haven't really been able to use it, but I'll go in there and stretch, and I've got like all my like devices to stretch and shit. But it just made me like, just do it out there. Why am I not thinking that I could just do it out there? No one would bother me. You know, the girls don't come in. You know, I'm not hearing noise. I could, you know, phones off. Not, you know. So I'm talking myself into it.
Yeah, please.
But I think it's a great thing.
And also separates you from your thoughts, because I think I was listening to Alan Watts one day, and he's talking about how your thoughts don't belong to you. And the way that I thought about it was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, if you imagine our electromagnetic field around our minds are like this big, right? But the one around our hearts, like, is as big as this room. So you ever notice if somebody comes in here all happy, like you get happy?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm a big believer in like that.
It's contagious.
It's contagious, right? Or the same thing.
Somebody's
like
down the room.
They could bring down the room.
Yeah.
And it's because that energy is in their electromagnetic field.
People killing your vibe. Yeah.
So my perception of it was like, okay, if my thoughts don't belong to me, then all of those like random negative thoughts I may get throughout the day, or even the positive ones, they're coming from something else. So imagine how many emails and fucking text messages and stuff fly through our electromagnetic fields. Yeah. And then
how many
we don't even
read
and then we don't even know how to like say what it is. Like our minds can't like determine like, oh, that's somebody else's thought. So it tries to give you something that you recognize. So it'll just give you like, if it's a negative text message or something, you get a negative thought.
There's no context. So it's easy to mess it up.
So now that thought doesn't even belong to you.
So you're saying you can actually you're saying you can actually feel more negative because of a negative text that you might not have even seen.
Like I said, this is my perception of it, right? It's just like, this is my perception. Like, it makes sense. Like, there's so much going on that we don't know about. So you ever just
information overload?
Yeah. Like sometimes I have a random thought that like I get into a car crash and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why?
Because you're thinking about not crashing your car.
No, I do. Who gets in their car and thinks about not crashing their car? No, they think about the destination that they need to get to.
Oh no, I totally
for the most
think
part,
about not crashing all the time.
Yeah, I think about like, it's a numbers thing, right? Like you drive a certain amount of time, somebody's gonna hit you. Yeah, I think about that all the time.
Me too.
Not
only that, I drive so much that I make theories on how people drive, how they are in real life. Like,
oh shit.
Yeah, like those people that are just like ultimate drivers.
Yeah,
you know, like that. It's like, and then you just stay cruising at one speed, and then when they hit that next layer of traffic, you're right next to them again. You learn a lesson that like doing that doesn't work.
You said ultimate drivers?
Yeah, you know how people
those are dangerous people.
But you know something? You guys, like the point that I was gonna make afterwards is like, you guys just said it, is like the only thoughts that belong to you are the ones you make yourself. So if you're thinking about a numbers game, like you're creating that thought. Right, you're thinking ultimate drivers are a certain way. You're creating that thought, so those are your thoughts.
No, I'm basing that off of facts. I see them.
But those other like the 40,000 thoughts you think a day, like there's a big percentage that don't belong to you, but you just emotionally attach yourself to them, and that's what keeps you in the past of the future.
Yeah.
Well, you remember the Akashic record? Remember that?
I know those.
And you know that? Do you know that?
Mm-hmm. I went through a big hippie phase.
No, not
like 5 years.
Okay, what are you thinking about?
The Akashic records?
Yeah.
Like everything you've ever done in any lifetime of your whole existence.
In the universe.
I mean, not just you, anything that anybody's ever done is floating out right here. It's right here around us.
Sure.
Everything that's possibly,
because energy is neither destroyed nor created.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's like that. It's about that energy. And it's like to maybe oversimplify it by saying like Einstein would sit and just think. Right.
Well,
people say like he would just sit in a chair and think
that all information.
Yeah.
So let's put it this way:
kind of like already exists, right?
All the answers to every question are already within you.
Yeah. But it's like again, like Einstein would sit and just think, and then like something would come to him.
So the idea is in a sort of meditative state, you remove all impressions and you remove all impressions and biases and things like that you have, and you're thinking kind of like a child, where a child doesn't have a reason to think about something. There are no
preconceived notions of anything.
You're just thinking. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, now you're open to all that information. Yeah. If you have perceptions, any kind of things going on, it blocks your access. So now you're only in your local consciousness. But when you're like daydreaming's perfect. The perfect example. There's no reason to do it. You're just letting your mind go.
Yeah.
I don't think you're letting do anything when you're dreaming. That stuff happens on its own.
Daydreaming.
No, daydreaming.
Oh, daydreaming.
But like,
you zone out. You zone out all of a sudden. And you kind of drift off.
Oh, yeah.
But in that moment, you might come back with holy shit, I got a solution to this problem that I've had. Or, I see a project I want to do. Or, now I understand what somebody said to me 20 years ago that made no sense.
20 years ago.
Whatever, yeah, sometimes. That one brain cell that holds on to it.
But I mean, that kind of goes hand in. I'm kind of feeling like it goes hand in hand with like meditating. It's like being able to tap in to that, even if it's just for yourself. Like, I know it helped me clear my mind, and it opened me up to solutions to things that I was worried about. Like my daughter right now, she's just graduating. My stepdaughter is just graduating high school, and she's been overwhelmed with schoolwork. Her entire high school journey, right? Advanced classes, taking college courses, just like ridiculous amounts of workload. And sometimes she would just be like, when she was a little bit younger, she would just start crying from being overwhelmed. And we used to tell her, like, take a step back, go do something else. Go take a shower, go take a nap, go read a book, go for a walk, go to the gym. And you have to clear your mind. It's like a reset, almost like, restarting a computer. Come back. And you look at it with fresh eyes. I know designers, like graphic designers, are like this. Like they walk away from that logo that they're trying to design.
Really, it's more fine artists, not really designers, but fine artists like painters, illustrators, things like that. They can't do a piece in one shot.
Nobody's going to be like, hey, draw this.
Yeah, you do the sketch, you come back to it, you see it again. Now you develop it more. You keep walking away back and forth until you develop the thing. And that's...
Well, I mean, I'm a believer in what you're saying. It's just, I'm an idiot and I go, I don't have time. But I know that if I took the time, my day would go by easier. I'd have more answers. Again, I'm thinking like I can't even, like, my recall of certain things is bad right now. And like I know I have to step away and I need the reset. That's where like jiu-jitsu really comes in. When I go to jiu-jitsu in the morning on any given day, shit, like on Saturdays and Sundays, I'm a different person. And I do work on those days. But like my day, it's done. It's behind me. When I don't do jiu-jitsu in the morning or go work out in the morning, the rest of the day is I'm thinking about, am I going to get to it? Am I going to get to do it?
Yeah, that's
because that's the one thing that cleanses my soul, that cleanses me, is getting rid of the stress of the day. But I know going into a day, having worked out already, is even better. Because then I'm not like worrying about, am I going to get to cleanse my soul? Am I going to get to jiu-jitsu? Am I going to get to weight training?
Yeah. It's funny because if you think about consciousness or your mind, actually, your consciousness is like a fluid and it wants to flow through you. And you're like a funnel. So when you're pouring oil into your car, right? You're putting oil in and you go too fast, it fills up the funnel. It can only go so quickly, right? So if you hit that right flow, though, it just swirls right through perfectly, and that whole quart goes right in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of how your mind is.
I like that. I like that. All right, let's change tunes a little bit here. We have another. Don't know if this is somebody who knows you. Do one of you guys know Yanel? Yaniel? Yaniel, is that it?
Yeah.
Yaniel 01. I didn't write down the person's name. I got a snapshot of.
Do they got
the
a fun question, bro?
What's up?
Do they have a fun question? You
a fun question. We got deep here. Well, yeah, all the questions you've already were all about like you guys beating up each other, and you already did it. Like they were all questions to get you guys to
fight, and fist fight.
To start
right
something
now.
here. So it's like, well, we already did that. Okay, so Yaniel?
I think it's Yaniel.
Yaniel?
Yeah.
Because I know both of these guys, I know both of these guys have practiced in the gi. However, given the popularity of no gi, do they think the gi will eventually be outdated? It seems that no one shows up to watch gi matches anymore. What do you guys think?
I definitely think that's true. If you look at like the last Pans, black belt finals is empty. Like Gordon was saying, it is true. Like and you look at night classes. I mean, we have limited gi classes, so our gi days get really packed. But a lot of schools, the gi days are not as busy as no gi days. No gi gets packed, and I just feel like it's more appealing. It's easier to watch. I feel like there is a crowd for the gi. I just don't feel like as a sport, like we're not going to see events in the future.
Entertainment jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, entertainment jiu-jitsu. Like
no gi.
Yeah, nobody watches like jiu-jitsu guys that do gi. A lot of them don't watch gi matches. That says something,
Word. I love the gi. I don't watch too many gi matches.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I love the gi. I can control the pace. I'm getting up there. I started late. I started at 41 and training for 8-9 years. So it's like, I don't say I'm not avoiding it. If my school did more no-gi days, I would go to more no-gi days on, if I wasn't hurt, I'm going to whatever. It's more about the day that I can go train than what's being done that day.
Yeah.
I don't really care gi or no-gi. But I do think that we're in a place where if something doesn't change, at least on the competition side, and it needs to get more exciting, that it's going to continue to fade away.
Yeah.
But then I think it's also something that would come back because then it's going to be all no gi and then oh my God, a gi match, and then it comes back.
Maybe. Yeah. I think the rules, especially like in IBJJF, play into it. And I don't think it's going to go away from training. I feel like there's always going to be a place for gi training because of the history. But I just feel like there's going to be a lot more no gi schools popping up.
I've seen a lot of Gordon posting, and I know he said he was just helping Marigali train. But he was in the gi, and then he kept on showing himself getting promoted
every day.
And then he every other day or something. Day. And then he was like, I've been trolling you guys, and it's like I've been a black belt for 6 years, whatever. But anyway, like when I saw that, I did see like, man, it would be great if he not fell in love with it, but at least if he did some, like he's the guy that could revive it a little bit. Like if he was doing gi matches, but I don't know that he's gonna do gi matches.
He might just smash everybody, and then it's like when Anderson Silva was winning, right? Like, it's like the next lamb to the slaughter, like
it
might be that
Mike Tyson
but
fight.
It'll be great to see. I think it'll bring a lot more eyes to the gi, especially a lot of guys want to see him lose.
Yeah,
but I just feel like he's so good that he puts so much time into everything he does and so much passion that I feel like in the gi he would
do it,
break some records.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good in the gi. And he's also a good wrestler. Like a lot of people don't even. Well, I guess people know that now, but the dude's got great stand.
And he doesn't move fast, right? Like if you watch him in no-gi, he's like slowly breaking you down.
Yeah.
So like he could play that game in the gi with the grips.
It's almost like what's the
boa constrictor?
Boa constrictor.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man, he's like he is moving so slow.
Yeah, but he's just pinning you nonstop pins, and he knows what you're gonna do. So I feel like if he focused on the gi, he could definitely.
That's not where the money's at. So it's like that dude's trying to get rich. And
today aside, are you a fan of the shit talking?
It's fun, man. It's fun.
But to hear it from a guy like Jordan, like, do you enjoy him trolling?
Entertainment.
Like, do you see entertainment value in that? Do you think it's good for the sport? Any thoughts?
I think, yeah. It works in MMA. It brings the casual people like, why is this guy talking trash about this guy or whatever?
Yeah.
I just don't think it should ever go to like family and stuff,
Yeah,
I agree.
What about you? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, I know you like to have fun with it. Like, I don't know, some people, like, we've talked about it a lot. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of it because then I just think, like, okay, usually the guy that's talking the shit, like, is a little bit more of like the bully guy. It's like, oh, this guy's like,
Some of them could back it up.
I like me and Melo.
Present company excluded.
Yeah, no, I like the me and Melo type shit talk.
It's like it's fun and it's like
humorous. Fun.
There's the humorous version.
These guys are pros. They're entertainers. Yeah. That's what they're there for, right? It
wasn't like that. I mean, as it relates to jiu-jitsu, really, who was the Gordon before there was a Gordon? Who was a shit talker before?
No.
Like straight jiu-jitsu, non-MMA guy, non-UFC.
A straight up jiu-jitsu guy that talks smack all the time?
Smack like Gordon did. Like who was the Gordon before there was a Gordon?
Walid Ismail.
A lot of people don't know, right? Does he own that organization? There's like an organization.
What is it? Jungle Fight? I think it is.
I know who I don't know a lot about him. I know he's like an old school
I think
guy.
he used to trash talk with Henzo's back in the day.
Yeah.
But not the level at Gordon.
I mean, I guess it's escalated because of social media.
There was one person, was it Hoyce?
I don't remember. He had a beef with the Gracies. Like it was like well known. I think he was under Carlson at one time or something like that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, these guys are selling a product.
Butts on seats.
It's like butts on. Yeah, it's not like IBJJF finals. Like you can't really talk trash. You don't know who's gonna make it to the finals, right? It's a super fight. It's
with press before it.
Yeah,
so it's like I'm sure the actual promoters and the people filming, they're like, hey, give us your thoughts.
I've been talking a lot about it and posting a lot about it and posting excerpts from interviews. And I'm coming around to it a little bit more. I think that what you just said is kind of where I'm leaning now is like, okay, I get it. It brings eyeballs and anything that brings eyeballs is good. But I think once you start getting into the family and the real personal, like if you're going to, like how many UFC fights have you watched where they go at it like crazy and then at the end of the match, they're hugging and whatever, not that the best friends, but at least in that moment they stop. Mutual. But then you have like a Conor McGregor who's just like, your wife was it? He's like, his broken leg, and he's like, your wife was in my DMs. It's like, man, you could have turned this L into a little bit of a W by just being like, great fight, he got me, not my day, I want to get a rematch. And no, you got to go after the wife. I'm like, come on, man, I don't think that does much for
busting. There's ball busting. And then there's mean.
That's what I mean.
Ball busting is cool.
Ball busting is great.
Yeah. Ball busting is
right,
awesome.
But to getting personal is not. Like Connor, when he was coming up, he didn't get too personal with it.
I mean, well, no, I'm talking more recently.
I'd say like what I think around the Khabib fight is when he just started going nuts.
Yeah, he started talking about religion and family.
Well, I mean, once he quote unquote made it, is when then he kind of went crazy. He's like he's showing off the money.
He's always played mind games. He's always played mind games, but like the trash talk didn't escalate.
You really got to keep pushing that ceiling. It's like I'm this big, I could bring it to this level by pushing these buttons. Those pre-fights, they sell the fight.
There's a lot of Monday quarterbacks that are
the Mayweather fight with him. The Mayweather fight with him was all about shit talking.
Yeah, I mean they went on a fucking
all about shit talking. That whole thing was all just a shit talking match.
They went
and then they punched each other for a little bit, and then
did they go worldwide with that tour?
They did.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't get is like we said it before. There's no casuals in BJJ. Like everybody that watches BJJ or knows about it.
Trains
or
know somebody is there because they're a family member,
something like
boyfriend.
that. So it's like I don't even get it. I get the aspect of the UFC. I'm saying that's the Coca-Cola fighting.
What about this though? Because like I always ask, like, are you like watching the Fight to Wins on Friday nights? Is like are you glued to the app or to your TV to watch those fights?
Probably there.
I watch a good amount of matches.
Yeah.
And I think jiu-jitsu's taking the same path of the UFC. Like you've seen, like they got the reality show now on Fight to Win and they're showing their stories and stuff.
Yeah. It's like tough.
What is it called?
I don't remember. I know your boy's on there though. Okay.
Yeah,
it's got
something about it. It's got
Fave, my bad.
Who's next?
Yeah, it's like who's next?
Who's next?
Yeah, that's cool. It's bringing the stories, right? Like I think it'll bring more eyes, makes you want to watch them even more if you know their backstory.
Just like the pedagogy.
So, but I think that it's So I think, like I've been saying a lot, that is not going to bring the shit talking is not going to bring in outside viewers. But what I think maybe it's doing is bringing in casuals within the community, right? People that train but don't watch the stuff. Now it's maybe bringing.
You do run into those. You'll name a famous guy they don't know.
Yeah, they're like, I just go to jiu-jitsu on Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
I'm a CP.
I'm not. I'm doing this for stress relief. I'm not watching all the videos. I don't care who's doing what. I come to train at my gym, my dojo, my academy, and so I'm starting to realize. Wait a minute. Okay, so it's not that it's bringing in.
It's bringing the casuals of jiu-jitsu
in our community.
Yeah, it's bringing our.
But you're building stories. Like if you see like these interviews, like the guy he was calling Gabby Garcia for a date, and it's like funny things like
Craig Jones.
Oh no, Jacob Couch.
Jacob Couch. Yeah, he was like calling her out for a
was
date.
He?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like, "Oh, let me slide in your DMs or whatever." But he's being funny about it, right? Like it brings stories.
Jacob Couch is a dude,
right? Gabby Garcia kicked your ass. Right?
That's Craig Jones.
Craig Jones did that. Well, he did a lot of that funny stuff. Well, he wanted to have the match with her.
It just builds characters that you want to watch and you want to see what they're going to say. Before it's like, I like that guy, his style, but you didn't really care about too much.
So I'm going to stop saying, like I was saying, like I thought, again, my mindset was that it was bad for the sport because that's never going to bring in somebody from the outside. But what it is doing, there's tons of people that don't watch that.
On the inside,
it's getting those people from the inside to actually start watching because it's doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are what? What's the pot for ADCC?
Not sure.
For
100K, I think.
Is it? It's
50K, something like that. Yeah.
They got big sponsors.
But yeah,
put like
14,000 seats in the stadium. Right. I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I got a message. Who's the Seth from Fight to Win? He commented on something that I posted about the casuals, and he was like, he said we're sold out or sold 11,000 tickets. So I don't know if he said he was sold out, but he was like,
it's a lot of tickets.
So like, it's working. He was, kind of taking the opposite of what we were saying. It's like, no, it's working.
It's getting the people.
We sold 11,000 tickets.
It's getting the people that are in.
I had to look at it like that.
Probably what's happening is like the people that are in the community, right? We see the shit talking, we like it, we post it.
Yeah.
Right. And our other followers that don't do jiu-jitsu is like, oh shit, like what did you say?
I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's like all when I was growing up, my father didn't watch football. Like it wasn't like didn't have like a team that he had to watch every week, but he always watched the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We always watch the World Series.
Yeah, you always watch the Olympics.
Even hockey, right? We always watch the finals. So like now, like I think of it like that. Like those people are like, yeah, they may not watch every fight to win or who's number one, but there are a lot of people that are going to tune in just to watch that because of all
they know the sport, they don't know the players.
It's like World Wrestling. It's like World Wrestling Federation with actual fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is a lot of people. Again, people who shit on it, but listen, if it brings in eyeballs and it's not getting, I'm a dad. You start talking about people's wives and kids and family.
Yeah, you bring your kids.
Remember Mike Tyson was like, "I'm going to eat his children." Remember that?
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, "What the fuck is up with Mike?"
Yeah, this is one that we bring our kids. That's like a safe place. That's why you kind of want to separate it. And
then there's that, right? We teach this, again, safe place for children. Jiu-jitsu is for everyone. But hey, we're going to talk about your mother. Come on. Yeah. It can only go so far.
Yeah, most jiu-jitsu gyms have like moms programs that have kids programs.
Who said that was a little bit more about rolling with older with people? Was it Drysdale who said like roll? If you're rolling with somebody's mother, roll with her like you would expect them to roll with your mom. Like, how would you
be respectful.
Be respectful of that, that older person,
sometimes.
Just like you would want them to treat your mom.
For sure.
Is that a thing? Like people do disrespect? I'm sure it happens, but I've never seen it. I've never.
What do you mean do disrespect? What do you mean?
Like somebody's like mom. No, like an older lady or like a girl that's in the gym.
No, like
a little bit more MMA world.
Rolling etiquette.
Well, we're talking about rolling etiquette, but as far as the shit talking, it's a little bit more on the MMA side, right?
Yeah.
But
unless it's me and Melo.
Gordon gets out there. I don't know if he'll go like, I wasn't going hard, but now they're talking like now they're talking shit or lying. Now I'm gonna lay into them. I don't know that he's ever talked about something like
Gordon. A lot of what Gordon says is factual.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
He only, if you bring it to a level, he'll bring it to a level, and he always admits it. And then he'll always make a post of all the screenshots of where, like, listen, this is where he made fun of my dad first.
Yeah,
and then I went after his kid or something.
Yeah, that was that was probably the one time recently, like him and like even Tex when he was on.
I just
talked about it a little bit.
The important thing is he backs it up. At the end of the day,
that is true.
That's what I said at the beginning.
When you're talking trash and you lose,
it's no bueno. Mayweather.
Yeah.
There's a guy that always comes. When I see guys walk out on the Fight to Win stage and they're dancing or coming out with like a floaty, like getting really corny about it, I'm just like, man, I really hope you. I'm not wishing like that. I'm like
unnecessary pressure.
Yeah, man, you better win this. You're gonna come out like that or to the song that they come out dancing. Yeah. It's like some 80s, like
unless it's like a really, really like if it's an old match, like old people match. Because I think they really they don't care.
It's a little bit more fun.
They're super fun, yeah.
Or when those guys come out like that, I'm like, man, you better put on a show, brother, because you just come out like that.
How about the dude who always lays on his back and like just chills out and he's wearing the tie-dye spats he's covered from and he's got all the tattoos?
I don't know.
He's that no-gi guy. He looks like Post Malone.
Emil Fisher?
I know.
I think he looks like
up though, but he's always wearing like the full,
but full, and it's always like jesters or like that.
Yeah.
That guy backs it up.
Yeah. He came out with that's what I'm thinking. He came out with the floaties,
and he looks like super lazy. He'll lay there and look at you and like do like.
He's a bad dude though. That guy's.
Yeah, he's selling the fight. He's entertaining,
for sure, and can back it up. He's not just making a fool of himself.
All right, we're gonna put Melo to the speed round. You as well. It's been a while since you've done it, but you've done it before. You've done it a couple times before. So we're going to focus a little bit on Melo. Jump in if you want. All right. So we just do a speed round of like 7-8 questions. Oof. You can one-word answer or you can elaborate either way.
Okay.
All right. So I think we've already talked about your preference. Gi or no gi?
No gi.
No gi, right? Takedown or pull guard?
He don't know no takedown. Next question.
I knew he was going to jump in.
I've been liking takedowns more lately.
Yeah.
The fuck? When I come back, we're going to see.
2 points.
Yeah.
We just asked you about watching jiu-jitsu. Do you did you say are you like glued to I'm
always watching a match. I don't know everybody's name, but I'm always watching matches or studying somebody's instructional. That's what I do for free time, is just always looking at video.
Consumer.
And drink beer.
Yeah. And drink beer.
Yeah.
Ask her. I'm always doing it. Always. I make her watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he?
Is it starting to make sense? Okay.
You're welcome.
Are you gonna train?
She knows an armbar.
No, you're out.
That should be up to you. Whenever you feel like it.
She did this thing. She said, "I'm gonna leave it to This.
You can't make somebody do jiu-jitsu, bro. This is not. You've said it a million times. There's no gray area. It's,
no,
you like it or you don't.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it or you hate it.
I've done a couple.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
That's for another show.
The,
That's for another show.
What is that called?
BDSM.
Jiu-jitsu after dark. That's the other podcast.
Jiu-jitsu until it goes dark.
Yeah.
And you get choked out.
So she did a Darce choke on me. Get out of here.
All right, Melo. Favorite competitor to watch?
Drew Phoenix. Next question.
That goes on the board.
Oh man,
That's a chop.
I would say Gary Tonin.
Yeah, we're gonna get
Mine too.
Gary
Damn.
Tonin's legit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Best
My favorite no gi
best
grappler.
Granby roll.
Hold on, do you watch gi at all? Who would be your favorite gi guy?
Yeah.
Marcel
Rafa Mendez, man. Come on.
Kron Gracie or Marcelo Garcia?
I agree. I like Rafa Mendez though. His leg drags.
There's so many good people out there, especially like if you study it. You fall in love with people's styles, I think. And then you like them for different reasons.
I only watch gi highlights. That's it.
Gi highlights are the shit. I'll watch. Yeah.
So
I'll do that all
so
the
you're
time.
watching tape and you're watching, I'll call it watching tape, you know, because you're going to train other students. Do you encourage your students to watch instructionals?
Yeah.
And because when I started, it was kind of like, really, Milt, what are you bringing in here? You know,
Yeah.
because like I've talked about this where I used to bring my iPad and I'd be like, hey, coach, can you show me how to do this? But it was just like, in the beginning, it was just me and him. He just opened his gym, be like me, maybe one other student as he grew. And in the beginning, he was just like, what are you fucking pulling off of YouTube? And then it turned into, at the end of a class, he'd be like, okay, he'd see my iPad, be like, what do you got? Do you anything you want to go over? And he just kind of was okay with it. But I mean, again, 8-9 years ago, I think it's not like it is now where it's just like, yeah, go find that instructional. It was a little bit more like, no, don't be looking on YouTube and bringing some crazy shit in here. Mm-hmm. Like, ask me if you want to learn something. Like, that was the coach's take, at least mine with Kenny in the beginning.
Yeah, I felt it was like that too, but Wagner was pretty open though.
Yeah.
Like when I started, especially with the leg locks, like he's like, oh, show me what you learned. And then he would find a way to make it look like it doesn't work. And then I'd find ways to refine it. So I felt like both of us.
Yeah.
helped
It
each
was a
other.
So do you
creative
encourage your
process.
students? Do you encourage,
Yeah, I
deter?
definitely encourage them.
No opinion?
I mean, like, let me know what you're watching, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't want you doing like weird. There's a lot of crappy content out there too, you know?
Yeah.
I always tell them like study things that you could take with you till black belt, you know, no gimmicky moves, you know, you should get, you know, your foundation like really good. Like
Yeah.
you shouldn't be doing
Buggy
this weird.
chokes.
It's like DIY jujitsu.
I mean, buggy choke works, right? But like, I don't want my students just drilling that, right? Like you're
Yeah,
giving
let
up
people-
side control
Yeah.
to potentially submit them, and they could Von Fluke you, you know, there's a lot of counters, you know, like I'd rather you work something that you could take to the highest level. And, you know, I'm not saying that buggy choke doesn't work at the highest level, you know,
But you
obviously
said
it did.
gimmicky.
Seen
It's
Vic try that
gimmicky
shit a
thing
bunch
right
of
now.
times.
Yeah, when Vic did it in that match, I was like, boy, that better work or you better, you know, regard. But like one of my blue belts did it a buggy choke in a super fight. My heart stopped. Like, what are you doing? You know, but he went for it, but he has good guard retention. You know, I don't mind if you're playing, you know, all these like I guess specialized moves, but you have to have ways of getting out in case it doesn't work, you know?
Fall back on your fundamentals.
But like if guys, going back to your question, if guys want to watch something, you know, I encourage them. You know, there's so much good stuff out there. Like BJ Fanatics has everything, even for cops, all types of grapplings on there. Now they got Mike Tyson showing
That
boxing.
just came out. Our coach sent it all to us.
So there's a lot of good stuff out there.
On what? On BJJ Fanatics?
I think it's
Yeah.
on BJ
Yeah.
Fanatics.
Oh,
They have
yeah.
Mike
Yeah.
Tyson now.
Yeah.
So
Peekaboo.
as
Is it
long
like
as the
boxing
source,
Fanatics or something?
No, it's
No,
I
it's
saw
BJ
there's
Fanatics.
There's wrestling.
There's a clip that I saw that had some guy show Mike Tyson like something he did in a fight,
Mhm.
and then he was working with Henry Cejudo to practice that exact move. So
Oh, okay.
I don't know if the whole DVD's like that, but
Yeah.
I mean, like
they got it for judo.
Also
they
being
got
a-
it for
also being an instructor, like you'll see the student doing something. You're like, hey, what are you doing? You know, and you kind of got to check your room too, you know, but there's a lot of good content out there. And I encourage everybody that's just, you're training your mind, you know,
Yeah.
to see what the possibilities are.
What
Yeah.
about competing?
And it's-
Are you recommending that your students compete like early? Do you recommend it at all to your
I
students?
definitely say to compete. I didn't compete early, so I started competing later, and that made it a lot harder. 'Cause you had,
How late? When did you start?
like, so I competed at white belt, but I did it once. I had a bad experience. Did it once at blue belt, and then I didn't win till purple belt. And you know, I hold my own in a lot of training rooms, so it's like that would kill me. Like I'd be like, man, this guy won this, and I just mopped the floor with him. You know, like
Yeah.
so I always tell my students, yes, it's going to be scary. It's always going to be scary. You always have some type of nerves, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. So I always tell the guys, compete. If you want to compete, do it at white belt and start. Because the skill level's lower, it's spazzier. I feel like there's more energy too in those white belt matches, but it prepares you for later, but it's not a requirement, like you don't have to. If you just want to do jiu-jitsu for whatever reason, you don't have to compete.
And your opinion? Your guys,
I was just trying to process levels, right? He just basically said that he was scared of me.
But are you recommending you guys
what?
I mean, I would look at you and say you're a competition school. I mean, at least
a bunch of my guys love to compete. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got my MMA guys too. Yeah.
Yeah. You. What's going on with the MMA side? You're coaching guys.
Yeah.
Are you? Tell me more about what you're doing, because I know that you posted. I see you've traveled.
Yeah. So my school, I started out of Hard Knocks after those guys went from Hard Knocks to Sanford.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Henry Hoof.
Yeah.
Right?
So the amateur program is down is where my school is at. So I brought pure jiu-jitsu to the school. So the MMA guys would trickle in, my classes, and then they just started to take a liking to me as a coach. So I remember the first time some guy was like, "Hey, you want to corner me in my fight?" And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna tell you.
Is he asking fun. Like, hey, specifically be my coach for the jiu-jitsu side? You see,
he just said, you want to corner me, and I was like, all right, cool. It was
that's dope.
One of the twins.
Okay,
and it was a cool experience, just to see him, like, he hit a bunch of like Kimura sweeps in the cage, and just like, I was coaching him while he was on the ground. He'll pop back up, and then the other coach, because I think I was with Foz or somebody at that time. So I was with the guy who knew stand up.
Mm-hmm.
So then, that was my first experience with it, and I started getting curious. And I don't know, I just kept working with the MMA guys, and because I don't think Sanford has a pure jiu-jitsu program.
Okay.
So
it's more of that kind of like jiu-jitsu for MMA.
Yeah, and I think they only train it like once a week.
Yeah.
So the guys who really like jiu-jitsu, they come down there and train with me.
That's surprising with Gilbert Burns down there.
I mean, yeah.
Well, you're saying down from the other Sanford, or you mean just within the class?
I say down because Sanford is north of me. It's like 15 minutes north.
Yeah.
So, the MMA guys just working in with me, and then like I get to look at jiu-jitsu from a different standpoint now of like, okay, now we really got to train jiu-jitsu. Like, I have to learn jiu-jitsu, how it is like getting punched in the face.
Yeah. Okay.
10th planet jiu-jitsu, essentially.
Yeah.
You having fun with it though?
No, I'm having so much fun.
Enjoying that experience?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it.
You'd be ringside at a UFC fight one day?
Oh, definitely.
I've told my wife that's like a dream. That's my like dream, to like corner somebody for their jiu-jitsu one day.
Yeah.
And not at the UFC, because I know I would give horrible advice.
This guy. Fanatic. Encyclopedia over here.
Yeah, but it's an honor, man, because those guys, they put in a lot in their training. You know what I mean? It's really dangerous what they do. And it takes a lot of dedication. The commitment is out of this world. Yeah. So for them to trust me as a coach to aid them in that journey, I'm just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So I've been having a lot of fun with it.
That's cool, man.
It's a new thing for me. And just to talk about like the whole, I forgot what that girl asked again, but I was thinking about it. It's like when you're injured, right? Yeah, go lift weights, but also show up to train, but also challenge yourself to learn something new. Right, like I've been studying Danaher's back DVD like so much, and I just been all right. This is what I learned. I go practice it. I can barely practice it right now because of my knee, but like I show the guys like what I learned. So it's been helping me become a better coach. So yeah,
that's good. All right. So Melo, ultimate goal in the world of jiu-jitsu. What is your ultimate goal?
Build my school up. And have champions come out of there.
Yeah.
But also make it a place where just a regular mom and pop and their kids could train also.
Yeah.
So just do it full time. That's the dream that, a lot of us in this industry or in this martial art would like to do,
Yeah.
Turn the grind into your life.
Yeah.
That's dope.
It doesn't feel like I'm working. Every time I'm in the gym, like I do 8-9 hours at work, tired. And
I know you probably can't put a time frame on it, but I mean, you see yourself retiring essentially from the day job, like leaving that?
Yeah, I have a little deadline.
You have a plan?
Yeah, I have a plan.
That's good.
To walk away. And it's just being, the thing is that the stock market is not that great right now. It's a little volatile. We got Ukraine and all this stuff going on. So that's kind of throwing like a little wrench. and with possible recession, and a lot of my capital comes from stock. So
Yeah.
it's just planning my exit. If things were a little bit more stable, I would have done it
2025,
already.
you'd be all right, bro.
You did it, right? I mean, we talked about it the last time you were on, right? You had to like pull that plug and walk away from the day gig.
Yeah.
I did it too. I did it end of October, November. I walked away from a job that was for 6 years to do this, to reopen my marketing company, and to have more time to do this.
Yeah, I feel like the day's coming. It's just being honest with myself. I know I could put a lot more into the gym and grow it. I mean, we've done pretty well for the short time that we've been there with like no marketing or anything, but I just know that I could give way more to my students, offer more classes, and I just know it would take off as just stepping away, you know, because we're so programmed going through school to be workers and work for somebody else, that to be an entrepreneur and work for yourself is such a scary step when it shouldn't be, you know. Like, I was actually kind of surprised how easy it is to open a business, and you know, I'm still learning, but just the process of opening one, it's like, man, it didn't take that much money. I spent money on cars before, and that feels more right to do than to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk to you in like 5 years. You can be a business owner, man. That's okay. I was just paying a compliment.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I would.
And I was just saying, like, and you know, when you open up your own school, it's like you're learning how to be an effective coach and an entrepreneur at the same time. Like, it's challenging.
I think it's why a lot of gyms fail, though, because a lot of times, you know, students, you know, they hit that brown belt, they hit that, like, I'm shit. I know people that have opened at blue, even at white belt. Shit. Felipe opened his gym. He was a white belt. Hired his first gym. He was a white belt.
Oh, yeah.
And hired a coach.
Yeah,
but a lot of times is you are learning this stuff on the job, like the marketing side, what to do. And that's the downfall. People just think that if I have good training, the people will come. It's not the case. You know, you have to constantly be and you're going to lose students. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have that machine in place, that's like that's a lot.
You're gonna have to kick students out. I feel like that's something like as a coach, right? Like you said, you got to check your room when somebody's doing
gym
something.
cancers. Yeah, but gym cancers will weed themselves out.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't run into that problem yet, and you
will.
Yeah, I'm sure it will happen. But the good thing with my situation is I have a business partner, David Perez. He got the black belt same time as I did, so we kind of split in the load. But even with that, you still feel like, man, I do not have enough time.
Yeah,
like just to do
that's
little
never
things.
Going to go away, man.
Just like little things
ever goes away.
Just little things, and then I'm at work. I'm like, man, I could be doing this and that. You know, it's just making that. And I have a lot of friends that have opened up gyms, and they just tell you just got to do it. I was like, all right,
you just got to do it. That's the thing with a lot of things. You got to put in the hours, right?
If you ever need some marketing tips, I mean, that's my day job is, you know, kind of helping people like get,
black belt digital marketing.
Feet through the door, get people through the door, little things that you could do. We always talk about reviews.
You need help with reels.
GMB, to get local people, your GMB, or now it's called a Google Business Profile, and asking people for reviews. So it's like your map listing on Google. If you probably have it already. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just get, like if you have a website, it'll get scanned, find the address, and Google will have a page up. Focus on that, because that's the little thing that you can do with like laying in bed at night. Mm-hmm. Ask somebody to leave you a review. You know, post to it.
Reply to
it. You can post like you're posting to a social media site on your Google business profile. So doing those little things, and then the reviews is probably the most important thing because what other people say, Google puts a lot of weight behind what other people say about you. So when it relates to that local business, you'll come up higher the more reviews you have, and then respond to them too. Thank them, use keywords, use your city name, use the gym name, say jiu-jitsu, you know, work that into your reply, and that's going to help. So I don't know, do you guys do that? Is that new to you, or you guys handle any of that stuff?
Some things that you said are new. I've heard on previous shows with Drew, I've picked up a couple of things that you guys have talked about, like replying to the reviews and doing things like that. But I'm still learning like to do that, because it's like, again, time.
The only thing better than something that you say about yourself is somebody else paying you the compliments. So those reviews, even Yelp, Google, Facebook.
I'm gonna go leave a review.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed this.
I've been slacking on the Facebook. I have to do the Facebook because it's an app I don't use, but I know it's a big market.
If nothing else, I mean, if you post on Instagram, you're pushing that same post to, you know, Facebook and Twitter. Sometimes I see messages from like months ago that somebody might have said something on Twitter because I don't pay a lot of attention to it. But that's just IG and Facebook. But Facebook, because of the reviews, is what's really important. push the same posts and then the reviews. I think most the jiu-jitsu industry is like our biggest platform is going to be Instagram. That's where we get the most. Would you agree, right? Yeah, and even when you're doing your reels and doing your videos, right? You find more interaction there.
Even a black belt could do it,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
reels, and then TikToks.
Yeah.
TikToks cater to more of a younger crowd.
Yeah.
So you gotta like gear it towards that.
Yeah.
You're gonna
That's
do
a great
dancing
way.
videos.
That's
You're gonna do dancing videos.
That's a great.
You want to dance with me?
No, okay.
That's what you want to do.
like-
I know.
you like
You're
how
gonna
he
go do
said-
Some
TikToks.
bachata.
Hey, you're turning
Yeah.
this dude into a diplomat. He's saying you got to gear it towards that instead of. I know you wanted to say dumb it down. I saw it in
No,
your
bro. Why you
eyeballs.
putting
I
put
saw it
words
in
in
your
my
eyeballs.
mouth?
I almost said dumb it down because you were saying like,
I didn't
to a
say
younger
that.
crowd.
He's trying to get me canceled.
All right.
I love your chick shock.
All right, Melo.
Cheap chop.
If you could go back in time and talk to yourself before the very first time you stepped on the mats, what would you tell yourself?
Go train with Drew.
You don't got to ask him, man. He did the whole thing. I love it though.
Pretty much what I tell a lot of my students: enjoy your time at each belt. You're only a white belt once. You're only a blue belt once. You know, you should enjoy those time periods in your life. Like, I think one of the most exciting times are when you're a white belt. Everything's new, right? You know, so like, you should look at each chapter, each belt as a different experience. You know,
So you got to enjoy the ride, kind of thing. You enjoy the journey.
Yeah,
right?
and I think I came in with the right mindset. I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was not going to be quick. You know, so just
You still dating that girl?
no.
Yeah.
We're great friends, but
Does she still do
Is she a
jiu-jitsu?
black belt?
no. She trained a
Quitter.
little bit, and
Blue belt,
then
blue belt?
no, she did she get like even one stripe? I don't know, but yeah, she didn't like it for the long run.
It's
But
okay.
she likes watching it. Like, she could tell you what an omoplata is. She knows when a triangle's
You
set
guys are
up.
still friends?
Yeah,
Is
we're
that-
really cool. Really cool.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
It was white belt your favorite belt?
White belt? I would say
That's a great question.
purple belt, man. I feel like purple belt, everything just started coming together. Like the Matrix, you know, like you started seeing everything finally piecing together, you know?
Yeah.
I finally feel like I like, you know, when you get your blue belt, you're like, man, I'm not ready for this. I
Yeah, I
felt
hear
like when
that
I
a
was
lot,
a purple belt,
a
like,
lot.
I'm ready.
That's how I felt with purple. I got promoted to purple.
And black too, right?
Yeah. Brown was my favorite.
Would you guys ever be up to do one of those things where you put on a white belt and you go to like your friend's gym, but you've never been
I
there
would do
before?
some stupid shit like that.
The friends gyms, like everybody knows
No, but
me.
I'm saying like one that you don't
Especially
know.
us.
Oh, nah, I don't.
Because the community
Yeah,
runs
shave,
deep.
you know.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know if I would be that guy, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of
I mean, Drew's just too famous now.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
TikTok
you know.
superstar. How many
Yeah.
followers?
Somebody got to do it.
That's
How
a
many
lot.
bots you got on there?
I mean,
How many pods? What?
Yeah, bots.
Bots.
Oh, bots. Oh, damn. No.
Hey,
got it.
you see the work I put into that shit.
Yeah.
Y'all get bombarded with reels.
Yeah.
He
daily.
loves.
Wait. His work or?
Ooh, the mastermind.
Mm.
It's like an M. Night
All right.
Shyamalan movie.
You want to ask him the last question?
Oh, see.
You know it.
Do you or do you not wash your jiu-jitsu belt?
I do not wash the belt.
Ugh.
I knew he
Why?
said that as soon as he trained with
Why?
He don't wear that shit.
I don't wear it.
Right. You never wear it.
Nah,
you never train in the gig.
I have washed it, but I usually don't.
That's a
wash
belt
it.
washer then. You're a belt washer.
But recently,
How often did you wash your belt when you were washing it?
like once every 3 months or so.
Okay, then you're a belt washer.
When it just starts
Congratulations,
stinking.
I
bro.
wouldn't say he's not
Good job.
If
habitual.
it got stinky, you know, you washed it. But the thing is, you can't make it look worn out when it's new. You know,
All right.
like
I don't. But I feel like we need a follow-up question. It's like if your belt gets worn out, do you just buy a new belt?
yeah. But some guys rock the belt like they've been a black belt for 25 years and they
Yeah.
just bought that belt like
I just,
3 weeks ago.
I feel like that mentality's lost with me, and I respect the sport and I respect the people that do that. But like, if my belt gets a tear, or I try to like pull a wire or burn a wire on it or something like that, a piece of thread, and it messes up, I'm just gonna buy another one.
Yeah,
Some
I
people
think
like the
colored
look.
belts
Some
should
people
do
like
that.
the look of it. You know.
Yeah, I don't think colored belts should do that. I think once you get black belt, then once it's done, it's done. Go get another one. But
Yeah, but some people like the age. It looks cool. You know.
I
The
wash
students see
my
that as,
belt
like,
after every single
like
training.
weather.
Nino's belt.
Yeah.
I remember when
Jesus.
I'm on belt 3.
I
already.
remember when Felipe he swear I don't wash my belt, and then Sophia was like, I threw it in because it smelled so bad. Not that she washed it all the time on him, but she's
Why
like,
you
I
throwing
smelled
Sophia
it.
under the bus, bro?
So she ain't listening. Don't worry about it. So she was like, I threw it in. She's like, and I was just like, you know. But he's got one of those where it's like gray and falling apart.
Golly, bro.
I mean, it
So
looks cool,
now
right?
he
Like,
has new ones though. He
Does
has
it?
one that's like straight up black. He's got the one that he
He wears for graduations and stuff like that. His ceremonial belt.
I think he even still has the real raggedy one around, man.
Like if you start jiu-jitsu, you're a new white belt, and you see the black belt comes out, and he comes out with this weathered belt. You're like, man, that guy's been through some shit.
Yeah,
you know, like it kind of adds to the mystique. You know,
and I guess the washing. You know, people say that the washing it makes it look like you've been training longer, right?
Got it.
I get it. I wash. I have 2 belts now, so like I wash it.
I feel like there's such a
I'm training, maybe once a month now. I'll just throw it in. But
there's such a huge influx of kids. Having kids in jiu-jitsu has changed my mind of jiu-jitsu because like I hang around with kids doing jiu-jitsu. I talk to kids that do jiu-jitsu, you know, because they're friends with my kids and there's like play dates and there's movie nights at the gym and shit like that, you know? So like you get to see their little brains and how they work and like, dude, they're already like little tiny brown belts. You know, but yeah, for real, they are. But they don't have a lot of this like weird cultural thing or biases or anything that like we have just because we're adults and we're conditioned to think this way. Like the way they think, like I bet you if you tore up a kid's belt, he could be like on that Bruce Lee mentality where he's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to wash my belt because it's got juju in it or whatever. And then but 9 out of 10 kids are just going to be like, mom will just get me a new belt. You know, like
I mean, I don't think no one's pushing it anymore. Like, you're not like, no, wash your belt. You don't. Like the old school guys were like, no, you don't wash your belt. That would be ridiculous. That's a mortal sin to.
And you guys are older in the sport too. I'm only like almost 3 years in. You know,
babies
so like
in the sport.
But but like to me, like think about the mindset shift. I mean, not shift, but gap between my 3 years and your 10 years. Like you started jiu-jitsu 10 years ago. It was a different jiu-jitsu. Like I came into, you know, seasoned MMA fights where they have jiu-jitsu coaches that are highlighted and have interviews and there's grappling sessions when you're watching Tough and like jiu-jitsu is inundated in modern martial arts. Right? Yeah, for real. Yeah.
It's kind of fun. It's good.
You know, I don't have that mentality that you guys have. And it's only 7 years apart.
Any other martial art in history has kind of come and gone. Like it's had its plateau and it's not. That has not happened with jiu-jitsu. It has just gotten bigger.
And still, I don't think it's on a bull run, baby.
I think as long as we keep it in check.
To the moon.
You know.
You kind of talked about like...
there's gonna be aerobic jiu-jitsu classes.
Yeah,
you mark my words, there's gonna be
somebody who's gonna try to take jiu-jitsu and like really like
to just do warm-ups. Jiu-jitsu. You know,
like,
Lovato.
Dance
jiu-jitsu. Lovato Jr., you know that drill that he has, what he calls it, the Cobra drill or the Scorpion drill or whatever he does. He has that thing that he goes all the way across the mat and he does like, it's his warm-up drill, but like you have to know, I don't know if you have to know it, but his students, his higher rank students all know the flow of that drill. And it's literally like, that's a workout. And if you just did that for an hour, you could do the, hey, you're not doing jiu-jitsu, but you're doing jiu-jitsu-esque moves for
So you're saying like somebody could open up a gym and it says jiu-jitsu, but and they do
it could just be Zumba jiu-jitsu, like jiu-jitsu. Whatever you want. Yeah, there's freaking
like McDojo
banana way, like playing in the background, and then you're just like you're just doing shrimping, you know, for warm-ups and egg beaters, a couple push-ups, and then you could do like you supine back and you come up on one knee.
I did jiu-jitsu.
But you don't ever roll, you don't ever link up with a partner and do breaking grips or like jiu-jitsu.
He thinks like that's going to happen, and that will be not that will be the downfall of everything, but that it could be the downfall or pull us back a little bit.
I'm still not a believer because you have those Valente schools that just basically water it down. They don't roll. They don't do any of that. It's all about self-defense jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, vegan.
Yeah.
I got it.
Right. But it's not like those schools are taking over the market.
Yet.
Those schools aren't taking over jiu-jitsu.
Yet.
Right. But that's a very watered down version of jiu-jitsu. And personally, I can't stand the whole sport jiu-jitsu versus self-defense because as long as you know how to take somebody down and strangle them, there's your self-defense.
Yeah, but there's some moves you don't do against an armed assailant versus.
I mean, if it's an armed assailant, you're probably gonna get your ass kicked.
There's different jiu-jitsu between different. If you're training for ADCC, you're not training IBJJF rules. If you're training for Eddie Bravo Invitational, you're not. You know, it's like.
But I'm saying like in a self-defense situation, somebody is just rushing you. You could just drop your level, take them down. Choke them.
Yeah, but like places like Valente, they serve a purpose.
For sure.
Like people that go there are doctors, you know, professionals that don't want to roll with the 18-year-old who's going to suplex them, right? They have, you know, it has its purpose. It's self-defense. There's different flavors of jiu-jitsu, you know? Like when people tell me, hey, what school should I go to? I say, try these 3 or 4 and see which one you like. I know which one I personally would like, but I don't know what you like. You don't know the vibe there. the
Culture,
training
The vibe is
style.
important.
You know, so there's a flavor for jiu-jitsu for everyone, right? Whether it be like Zumba, like jiu-jitsu, maybe, but I don't think it's gonna last, and I think it's gonna help our businesses out, right? Because like soon as somebody starts getting
I
serious,
like this. I want to do more.
they're gonna leave.
I need more. Give me some.
Yeah, and like you'll see that sometimes with like some like these big gyms that are now incorporating jiu-jitsu. They get to a certain point and then they're like, "Oh, I want to go to a real jiu-jitsu gym now." You know.
So when you said like the said something about the Valente brothers, they don't roll. They never never roll.
They roll.
They roll.
They roll, but I'm just saying, like, they don't.
I know that I've heard a
they
lot
don't
that
roll
it's
like
a lot
us.
more self-defense style.
Yeah, it's
The
not like
original-
how we do it, right?
Yeah.
There's a clear difference between you go to do jiu-jitsu at a Valente school and one of ours. And I'm not downing them. I'm just saying, like, when he's talking about like basically the watering down of it, it's like, to me, like when I see people that train at Valente and we start talking about like the difference in our training, like we met that brown belt girl that one day, right? It's like there's not an emphasis on rolling. It's just like, here's what you do for self-defense.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with it, right? Like you said, everybody has
Different
their
flavors,
flavor.
different
But what
flavors.
I'm saying is, like, I just use that like as an example. Okay, that's a watered down version, in my opinion. And then when we talk about like self-defense versus sport jiu-jitsu, it's like, yo, like I don't like the argument, because anybody that trains sport jiu-jitsu is capable of strangling somebody on the street.
For sure.
We train rear naked chokes. We just got to get them down.
Yeah.
Right. And even if you don't know a takedown, then okay, fine. You'll figure out some way to trip, even pull them on top of you, sweep them, and do whatever you got to do. But we'll be okay in a self-defense situation. Is what
Tornado
I'm saying.
armbar on the streets.
Fuck
Let's
it.
go.
All right, guys.
You could be like Tex Johnson. Didn't he say he got in a bar fight outside of a bar with a guy,
Heel hooked somebody.
and he heel hooked him? He pulled guard
And
on
then he
the
went
guy
back
in the
in.
street. He heel hooked the guy, left him crippled on the sidewalk, and went and had a beer.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna wrap up.
Thank you to Neutral Zone CBD, a combat family-owned company that supports athletes and the people who love them. Neutral Zone strives to deliver clean CBD products for sports recovery in gummies, lotions, balms, roll-ons, and more. After a competition, a hard rolling session, or a tough day on the job, Neutral Zone has a product designed to help you reduce inflammation, increase cell rejuvenation, and may even help with aging joints. Visit NeutralZoneCBD.com and get 25% off your order with code JJD. And follow them on Instagram too, at MyNeutralZone. Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box has now joined the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast. The BJJ box is delivered to your door filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. The crew at the BJJ box find the best in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost. Each box includes 4 to 7 items you're going to love. Visit thebjjbox.com and use code JJD10 to get $10 off your very first box. And give them a follow on Instagram at TheBJJBox. All of us here at the Jiu Jitsu Dummies would like to thank the entire crew over at Flow and Roll for their tremendous support. They're renowned for their incredible t-shirt designs, and they've got something for everyone. Flow and Roll quickly rose up to become the premier custom apparel provider for academies, big or small, throughout the United States. Shoot them an email about your custom order, flowandroll@gmail.com, and they'll be more than happy to get you hooked up. Check them out on Instagram at flow_n_roll for samples of their gi and no-gi kits. They conveniently offer flexible payment options too. Head over to flowandroll.com for more details, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu Jitsu Dummies signature tee, now exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your online purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD. Special thanks to George Hernandez, Claims Adjuster. Have you experienced damage in your residential or commercial property in the states of Florida or Texas from flood or fire, storms, theft and vandalism, even sinkholes, just to name a few? Don't get stressed out dealing with your insurance provider. Call George Hernandez today and let the professionals get you the most compensation possible. Visit HernandezClaims.com or call 305-712-6751 to get help now. And stay in touch with them on Instagram at HernandezClaims.
Give me your IG.
It's JJD_DJJ69.
Bo.
At BADWERKS.
That works.
That works. Gentlemen.
At Drew_Phoenix.
Jim one as well. I'm going to tell everybody where your gym's at.
A&M BJJ. And at Mortalis Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, thank you. Melo BJJ, and my school's Mortalis Jiu-Jitsu.
It's an underscore BJJ? Is it BJJ or underscore? Is there an underscore in there?
Underscore.
No, I don't want to fuck it up for you. I'm sorry.
When can I put BJJ in my name?
Right away. I did it right away. Never got rid of it.
Okay.
I found out. I saw an old post that my daughter had tagged me in, and I couldn't remember. Like, did I start my IG when I was already doing BJJ, and I saw my old name, but I wasn't really paying attention to Instagram. I set it up, and I wasn't paying attention. And as soon as I started training at Kinney's, I mean, I think it was. I didn't even have a stripe yet.
Why not?
I was just like,
I'm gonna be.
I like it.
BJJ.
For
like
so
this
long,
too.
it's like I'm not changing it.
Where's your school?
It's down in Richmond Heights in Miami, close to the Miami Zoo.
Okay.
152nd, man.
Tell everybody where you're at.
I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Everybody knows the
Action Extreme Park, baby.
By
Extreme
Extreme
Action
Action.
Park.
Extreme
Yeah.
Action Park.
Down at middle to the end of that development.
It's on the north
Yeah.
end of the plaza.
Where there and they actually do the Arte Suave when they're in Fort Lauderdale
Yeah, they
in the
do some
back of your
tournaments
gym,
in
right?
the
They do the tournaments in the back, right?
Yeah. And unless you're invited, don't walk into my gym. You'll get kicked out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah, I'm kicking people out all the time. My
They
homies
think
they
that they
come in
walk
there and
in.
warm up.
They think that that's the tournament. Oh, let me walk through here for the tournament.
Yeah, they
Is that
see
what
my
you mean?
mats and they want to come warm up.
Oh shit!
You got one of the best locker rooms out of the gyms that I've been to.
We had a good
with
gym.
the showers and the lockers and
Yeah.
yeah.
All right,
dope.
guys, I'm at Uncle Milty BJJ
There it is.
and at Jiu Jitsu Dummies. Appreciate anybody. Any parting words before I let everybody go?
Shout out.
If you're down in Richmond Heights, come check us out at Mortalis Jiu-Jitsu. If you're in Fort Lauderdale, check out A&M. If you want better instruction, come see me though, you know?
Yeah.
They do a little like.
I thought you were their coach. You see, now you turning your back on
You know,
them.
one of my favorite things to do when I trained with Kinney was the open mats. Well, you weren't the student there, but you came to visit a lot. But we would do open mats with a gym in Plantation. We were in Margate. He was
Traveling.
Yeah.
over
So
that,
like
yeah.
one Saturday we went to him. One Saturday we came. Like it was like almost like a forced open mat.
Our
Like,
guys,
in a good way.
Our guys are really close.
Yeah.
Like when they compete, our team's cheering
Yeah.
for them, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're really close
Okay,
team.
that's cool. You wouldn't be able to tell with
with the Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
With the-
Smash
and I have
Brothers.
taught at his school before too.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he hasn't taught at mine because
I haven't
You
been
know how-
invited
that's how he is.
you don't want to
what
bring
do
the
you-
level of jiu-jitsu down.
I don't want to water it down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because I've been injured.
yeah.
Let me know when y'all want a Zumba program.
I gotta
got
wear
it.
that poncho though.
I'll do whatever you want. Yeah.
Just the poncho.
That's actually
Yeah,
gonna be
we
when you
didn't
do
talk
when you
about
do my
poncho.
program in jujitsu. There's belts in my Zumba jujitsu program. There's ponchos. There's different levels.
So just
you
for
get
the record, because this will air next week.
Bro, people are
It
not
is-
Tom. You don't gotta.
It is May 5th today. It is Cinco de Mayo.
They got it.
And that's
Oh,
what this is about.
I got one thing. Just
Okay.
remember. Hey, shout out to everybody that got promoted today in my school.
Hey,
yeah.
for real, man.
Before you came
Congratulate
out?
these people.
Yeah.
You did a promotion?
Yeah, I did a promotion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Moses, congrats on the blue belt.
I'm like,
Lucas, congrats on your blue belt. See, let me tell you what I did real quick. I invited everybody for Moses' promotion,
okay.
right? Because he just turned 16 today. So
Okay.
Alright.
All right.
he went through every single belt.
He's that
been
young?
Been training since he was 5.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, 5 or 6. So you got a decade of training under.
Yeah.
So it's his birthday today. So he got his blue belt.
On Cinco de Mayo.
But then you
Yeah.
did other promotions.
Yeah,
as
because
well?
Desi, he's my like purple belt mat enforcer.
Mhm.
That dude is just a workhorse. He's there all the time.
Is he the blondish guy?
Is he blonde?
Like dirty blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And me and him, we talk shit to each other. Like
strawberry,
me and him.
strawberry oak hair.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. But yeah, no, Desi's a great asset to the gym. He's a great coach. I can't believe I'm saying so many nice things about him. Yeah. Damn good at jiu-jitsu, and I had no choice but to promote him to brown.
Hey,
I love the flow and roll shirt.
Congratulations.
Yeah, flow and roll's
That one
good.
day. I have the only one that I have is purple. I don't have the brown belt one.
This is
I
dope.
got it.
Yeah, I like the flow and roll.
I had the purple. I never got a brown. I got to talk to Sean.
Hey, that
That's
rash
like my
guard and
favorite
those
shirt.
shorts, they're my favorite set right now.
Did I
Yeah.
tell you?
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
We're
Hey, Sean, start paying me. I'll make every reel with your shit on.
Good luck with that. But yeah, I mean, listen,
people pay me to make reels. I'm just
Well-
saying. And they send me free product and pay me. So
Holler.
Well, what do you buy?
Support.
Did you buy stuff for your gym from him? Did you?
but let's see. Okay.
There's
So
the gym
let's look at this.
there's
Let's look
the
at it
gym
this.
side,
I could
and then
do
there's
that,
that side.
right? or I could take his product and help him promote it. You've seen how fast my shit goes. You've seen my interactions.
I don't doubt you. That's why we're doing this. That's why he sponsors our show.
For sure.
That's why we work with him. I would say it's a two-way street, though.
I mean, I didn't say I was.
Well, because you gotta buy no-gi gear, right? You have to do your gear, right? You have to do that
For sure.
So why not do it with somebody
I'm not opposed to it.
that you just said that's your favorite?
I'm not opposed to it.
That's your favorite. You should,
Yeah.
Again, it's a two-way street.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got a.
Nice top
I'm
pressure,
still
Milton.
not going to. I'm still not going to. I don't want to step on his announcement. I'll tell you guys off air what he's doing, but he's got something really big happening, and excited to. We'll actually be helping him out with it.
Yeah,
and
I got
he's doing
something
big things,
really
man.
big
It's big.
Nice.
It's real big. So anyway, all right. So we're going to leave it there. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you for inviting us.
I appreciate you putting up with the
Somebody's
verbal
gotta do it.
abuse.
Yeah.
But again, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Nobody sees the green screen between both of you.
We're
protecting him.
Separate rooms.
One
All
guy's,
right.
one guy's
Movie
in
magic,
California,
everybody.
the other guy's in New York.
Yeah, right.
They're
we
not
should have
actually in the
just put them on
studio.
opposite sides, right?
They're
Yeah.
not actually in the studio at the same
Nah,
time.
if you did that, both our necks would have hurt. If we were in the middle, because
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening. Peace, love, jiu-jitsu.
take it easy, y'all.